All right, Chatterbox 23 back in business. Day Trois Qua and Skills McStabby Pants here.
Hola.
Basically, just fucking ruining your afternoon. That's what we do best.
It's what we're here for.
Oh man. Let's see. What do I want to say today? Surprise, bitches. Here we go. How to get some views.
What's going on in the world today?
Fucking Irma. Irma's fucking everything up. I take it back. We were talking about last week how it seems like they're getting stronger, and apparently Irma is like historically strong. So
yeah, like they want to create a whole new category for it. They want to bump up another category.
Yeah, I think Category 5 is the highest, so this one might be considered a 6 so at some point.
Yeah. Like gusts, so they go up to like what 225 miles an hour or some crazy shit like that.
Oh, it's scoured a couple islands just clean.
Yeah, I saw that. There was like one building that must have been made out of stone or concrete or whatever, and then everything else is just trashed.
Yeah, it's not good for them.
That fucking sucks, man.
I thought what was interesting though when I looked at it was, I don't know if you've heard of this. Let me check it up on the screen here. Is JetBlue capped its ticket prices at $99 for direct flights out of Florida and $159 for connecting. So like if you're going Florida to someplace else, so it's $159 for that. Or if you're just getting out of Florida, it's just $99.
Right on.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
and that includes the government taxes, so you're not going to pay like a big fucking hefty tax addition on top of the $99.
Yeah, that's cool. Good for JetBlue, man.
Yeah, well, and then that's prime time for a lot of places to be like, oh, we're going to have to raise our prices.
Yeah, that's true, man. Let's start gouging people.
Yeah, well, Delta's capping their fares at $400.
Oh, wow.
United Airlines is doing the same thing with $400.
So JetBlue
some had prices of about $1,000. Jesus Christ!
Wow, that is so fucking horrible.
Yeah, it's it's a disgusting thing because like these people are trying to get out to save their own lives. It's not like it's not like they're like, man, I want to go on a vacation shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like any of those ones, most of the time, if you're doing it under inside of the what is it, 14 days when it starts getting expensive, like usually it's some kind of emergency for the most part, like somebody died or somebody's dying or something like that, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna fucking gouge you.
It's one of those things where I kind of wish that there were some sort of price gouging laws.
Yeah,
like you can't. Like at a certain point, you can't reasonably charge, X percentage of your cost.
Yeah,
if it's more than 1,000% of your original cost, you can't keep charging. Like if you're making 900% profit on whatever you made, I think you're doing great.
Right.
But anything more than that, maybe it's too far.
Right. Although, do they have anything? Like I think some of them actually do have stuff for like bereavement prices or some crazy shit like that. Maybe they do. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I noticed before I clicked out, JetBlue also is canceling any fees for changing your plans. So if you had tickets into Florida or something like that, they're not charging you anything for like canceling them or changing your destination or any of that kind of stuff. There's no fees involved. So I thought that was also pretty cool. Like they're really just like all around just fucking kicking ass in the nice guy department.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which means they're never going to get laid. So, sorry, JetBlue.
Right. Apparently, Stench his sister took off, so he has to go cat sit for her. Wait, so she fled the apartment, and you're going to stay at the apartment? Is that what you're saying?
Let me see. I forgot about chat altogether.
All right.
My sister fled, so I have to leave my nice second floor apartment built of cinder blocks and go to her condo to cat sit. Why don't you just bring the cat back to your cinder blocks, man?
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. If she's evacuating, I don't know why you'd stick around, dude.
Yeah, take the cat back home.
Yeah, loot her apartment because it's going to get trashed anyway.
We'll take all the food out.
Take the cat. Yeah. Yeah, definitely the food, dude.
You don't end up like Opal. Opal had to freaking have a little fundraiser to help her get some food because apparently, like the Hurricane Harvey hit a little harder than she had anticipated and ruined like all of her food.
Oh wow!
It's everything in like refrigerators and freezers that she just got a bunch of food apparently from a family member who was working at Walmart, and they were like, "Oh, we got all this stuff we're kind of supposed to toss out, but it's not bad if you want it." And so she's like, "Yeah." Beggars can't be choosers, and then got fucked with Hurricane Harvey, just fucking destroyed all that shit. So,
wow,
yeah,
sucks. Yeah. Although again, she should really be on food stamps, dude. She should not be too proud.
Well, yeah, but at this point, it's sort of a moot point after that. At this point.
Right.
It would be a good thing to get on them, but
yeah,
right now,
yeah.
I was like, if she had a PO box, I'll ship her some emergency rations. I got that.
Right. I feel like I should get some of those MREs and have them.
MREs are good, and they give more variety, but they're a lot more expensive. Let me look up what I have, because they actually they last longer. They have a better range of temperatures you can store them at, and all in all, it's just a better deal, price wise. And also like it takes up less space, and they come in multiple flavors. They're like these big cookie bar kind of things. Oh, but they're not bad. Like I actually, when I ordered them, one of the first things I did was try each flavor, and they were like, oh yeah, they're nothing too extreme. Like it's just very mildly flavored.
Right.
Sort of like rice and coconut powders and stuff all sort of mixed together with like some wheat flours.
You know what's good is the camping stuff, like the Mountain House. I don't know if you ever tried any of that.
Oh, those are good.
Actually good, dude. Yeah. And
you can get pretty. Those are actually, you can get some fairly decent like bucket oatmeal kind of deals where you like get 30 days worth of food in like a bucket.
Oh, right.
Those are a good way to go because it's just Mountain House meals, but they're in like big multi-serving pouches. So instead of like reconstituting it in the pouch, you scoop out a cup and then add the right amount of water like in a bowl.
Yeah, I've seen them where they have them in basically like big coffee tins, dude.
Yeah.
Well, they probably have them even bigger than that, but yeah.
Those are definitely a really good way to go. I'm into prepping, so like I really know my shit when it comes to
right. Of course. Yeah. But no, we eat those all the time when we're camping, dude. Fucking not bad at all, man.
The only
it's not great, but it's pretty good.
The only downside I would say is a lot of times they come up a little short on calories. So if you're doing a lot of hard work, you might need to double up on what you think you need.
Oh, right.
So like if you think you've got enough for 3 days, you probably want to get enough for 6 days. And that would actually make 3 days. Just because you're going to be like, working hard, you're going to need like heartier meals. It's easy to underestimate with that.
Yeah.
How long ago did I buy these fucking rations? Are they still good? Maybe I shouldn't ship them. I know I got them from Amazon. I'm just like, how am I this bad at like remembering when I ordered stuff?
Yeah. Sorry. Oh shit! I was just reading the chat. Sorry. That's true. Opal is not getting any child support or even trying apparently.
Yeah, well, I think the guy just doesn't make the money. Like, just doesn't have it. So it's like you could, try.
It would be pointless.
Yeah,
you can still get him, dude. You can still let it add up to him. He can pay it back someday, hopefully. Yeah, although again, I don't do it either. Well, no, they've tried. They can't fucking find my ex when they try to serve her for fucking child support.
Here we go. This is what I was talking about here. So you can see what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
These are basically, they're like bars, and each bar is essentially 400 calories. So you could live off of 3 a day, but 4 a day would probably be best.
Right.
5. But,
It'd be full of a lot of carbs and shit, I would imagine. Carbs and protein.
So 18 grams of fat, 15 milligrams of sodium, carbohydrates 53 grams, 32 grams of sugar, 8 grams of protein per each bar. And there's a little bit of variation, I think.
Yeah, I imagine it's all going to be.
No, they're all the same.
Pretty similar.
Yeah, and it's not the healthiest food in the world, but if you're actually working hard because it's an emergency situation, you're probably pretty set. Oh, that's just the same information. That's an odd one. Oh, let's see. So it's sugar, palm oil, enriched wheat flour, niacin, dextrose, cornstarch, desiccated coconut. Okay.
Yeah, you don't take shit from that coconut. You desiccate the fuck out of it.
Yeah, so essentially just a bunch of fucking stuff compounded into a bar. I'm gonna start making my own. I'm getting real tired of seeing all these things, all this sugar. It's insane.
Well, I guess sugar helps in an emergency for a little bit too, but
for an energy boost for sure. Yeah, but once the thing's over, you won't have fucking diabetes because you were eating emergency rations.
Yeah, that's true. Although, I assume it's the only reason it's there is for flavor. Yeah. If it's something an emergency kind of thing, you can sacrifice a little flavor and leave the sugar out, probably.
Essentially, the best way to look at how they taste is think like a dense sugar cookie or like a really dense shortbread.
Oh, gotcha.
They're about the same texture as like a little denser than shortbread and about the same flavor with just a little hint of whatever fruit. So if it's like grape or cherry or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. That's not too bad.
William wants to know who pays Opal's rent and utilities. You'd have to ask Opal, man. I got no idea. I assume she probably does some sort of job. She's not on the internet 24/7. I don't think so. I think her family has a few businesses. Maybe she works with one of them. Has like grandma babysit the kid or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Where she lives? She lives like in South Carolina or something like that. Is that right?
Opal's in Texas. That's why she got hit by Harvey.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jesus Christ. I was mixing it up with Irma for some reason because I don't know where that's going, but I thought it was hitting everywhere.
Yeah, Irma's going to take out Florida. It looks like going right for fucking Miami, unfortunately.
Wow. So I haven't kept up on it, but I saw the tracks showing that as the most likely track that was taken.
Yeah, well, we won't know for till it hits. It either wherever it hits is wherever it hits, but that's their guess right now.
But yeah, it's like world record fucking winds and shit, right?
Well, the winds and stuff are bad, but the surge is higher than a lot of the islands. So the surge is how high the water is going to go. Right. That actually is higher than a lot of the islands are.
Yeah. Oh, like the Florida Keys and that, you mean?
Yeah. So essentially, it's like it's gonna just put them underwater entirely.
Wow.
Which usually flooding is bad, but not that bad. This is like a whole nother level of flooding, essentially.
Wow. Yeah, there's some of those islands that were only like maybe 10 to 12 feet above sea level to begin with, man.
Yeah. And so it's not going to go well for the people on those islands because it's going to get like 10 or 12 feet above their level.
Right. So. It's going to be completely fucking inundated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sing about that, Jimmy Buffett.
You're in Tampa Bay?
Yeah. Tampa Bay's more inland, right? Right. Tampa Bay is in the Gulf side, right?
I have no idea. I assume it is.
I hope I'm not wrong about that.
Like a hockey team or some shit out of Tampa Bay? Maybe.
They have a football team. They have a baseball team. They have a hockey team. I think they only just don't have a basketball team.
The Marlins or something like that? I think that's
the Florida. Well, no, it's the Tampa Bay Devil Rays or Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then they got the Lightning, and then they have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Lightning and Buccaneers is football. The Lightning is hockey. I think they're still there. I haven't followed hockey like I used to. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, Tampa Bay's on the Gulf Coast side.
Let's see. I wonder if Google Maps has Hurricane Irma. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah, I actually met. I went to my first rehab. I went in Jacksonville, and we had quite a few people from Tampa Bay that were in the rehab that I went to.
Oh, he's so if the hurricane follows its course, it probably will hit Tampa, but hopefully by going over land as far as it will.
Yeah, it'll be calmed down.
It'll calm down enough that it won't be nearly as bad by the time it hits.
Yeah, still can be a lot of fucking rain and yeah, and then the winds will only be like 70, 80 miles an hour. No big deal. Yeah. Or did you see the film of that dude that was like standing in the middle of the street with a flag, like leaning into the wind, like banging his head?
That guy's out of his mind.
Yeah, he's literally like leaning into it, dude, and fucking like kind of banging his head, dude. Just shirtless, holding a big ass American flag.
Oh man, Failure is in Miami. Failure.
Oh yeah.
Hope that guy fucking makes it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of them. I think Liz, Reptile, Sevi, I think all of them live. Oh, I think they're in St. Petersburg, which is pretty much the same, right? That's Tampa area, isn't it?
Sevi was St. Petersburg last night, and she said that Liz's house where they're at is in a relatively high ground, like the highest ground, and does really, really well in the storms.
Yeah, that's good.
They had too many issues, so they should be all right if they batten down the hatches, kind of thing.
All right. Yeah, actually,
like instead of like because he didn't have long hair, but he's sort of like a big guy like us. He could get out there and flap his man titties in the wind.
All right. Yeah, I thought St. Pete was near Tampa Bay. Okay. At first, I thought I always mix up the Miami. What is the other one around there? Miami. Yeah, fuck it. Never mind.
Yeah, Miami's like the wart on the tip of our cock.
Right.
Of the United States penis.
Right. Fucking Miami. Such a weird little fucking town. Yeah, Florida in general is weird, man. Like when I was in I've only been to Jacksonville, but it's a weird because they're right on the border of like Georgia and all that. So it's basically the South, but then there's like nice beaches too. It makes for an interesting group of people.
Well, a lot of East Coasters, really wealthy ones, retire there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some parts of Florida are like super like fucking retirement centers, and then a lot of other areas are like a lot of young people, partying and shit.
Yeah, it's like a weird mix, like along the coast, and then as you go inland, it's more like redneck hillbilly type, southern type shit, dude.
Yeah, California has a lot of similarity, especially in Southern California area, where there's the big cities, and then there are definitely some rural parts of California where there's still like, sort of almost like, it's not nearly quite as bad as like the South, the Midwest and South area.
Right.
But there still is some areas where like, you might not want to be a colored person.
Wow. That's crazy.
They're few and far between. You'd have to really look, but you'll probably still find a couple rural areas in California where there's some holdout white supremacist kind of groups and families and shit.
Yeah, I'd imagine anywhere you go, there's some there.
Yeah, I won't talk about the name of the family, but and this is not white supremacy stuff, but I picked up a hitchhiker who was got beat up. He got beat the fuck out of by some Hells Angels because he was a Death's Head Hells Angel. Apparently, those two groups don't get along.
Oh wow!
And he was friends with a local, fairly well-off family that owns several businesses. He was like, "Oh, you drop me off with, one of these places, and I'll be fine." And I'm like, "All right, no worries." And then he's all, "If you want drugs, we can get you drugs.
Wow!
Whatever you're looking for." And I'm like,
"That was nice of him."
That's cool. That was nice, but I was like, "It's cool, man. I'll just drop you off."
All right.
And he was trying to tell me, like, I'm driving a little, just a Nissan Sentra. And he's like, "Look, man, if a bunch of bikes come up and start harassing, just pull over, I'll get out, and they'll probably let you go." And I looked at him like, "Are you out of your mind?"
Right.
And he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Dude, look, you gotta understand, there's the lug nut rule. He with the most lug nuts usually wins."
Right.
Motherfuckers on their 2 lug nut fucking motorcycles when I come and fuck with me, by all means, go ahead. I got like 5 on each wheel.
Right. Yeah, no matter, yeah. Like I said, Harleys are pretty big, heavy bikes, but they're still nothing compared to a fucking car, dude.
And if they pull out a gun and try to fucking aim it at me, I'll hit them with my fucking car. And that'll be perfectly legal. Like,
yeah.
Not a lot of police are going to be like, oh, those poor Hell's Angels.
Damn.
And it's not even a case of like protecting him as much as just like, I'm not going to give up the advantage of being in my car and moving. That'd be a terrible idea.
Yeah. Yeah, especially against someone like that. You're like, those guys are probably used to fighting, and they probably don't fight fair or...
Well, I'm used to fighting, and I don't fight fair, but I'm just not going to... Why fight when I can just drive away?
Right.
I'll just drive to the police station and fucking let them handle it.
Yeah, especially if there's a bunch of them. Like, fuck you guys. I'm not going to pull over and try to have a calm discussion with you. Fuck that.
Well, and like, as much as I say, you know, not to protect the dude, I couldn't let some dude just get beat the fuck out of in front of me like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Regardless of, you know, you have no idea what the story is. Guy probably deserved it, but who knows?
He just went into the wrong bar. I think he didn't realize it was the Hell's Angels bar. He's not from town. He wasn't from around here. He was from out of town.
Gotcha.
He just went to the wrong biker bar and was like, oh, well, fuck me. And so they beat the shit out of him and left him like on the side of the road in the middle of like a little town around here to just fucking...
Wow.
Good luck, buddy. Oh, Akinara's there. Hey, man. Hey, what's up, Akinara?
There he is. Cool.
Oh, man. I just thought that was just like the craziest fucking thing. Poor guy.
Yeah. That shit's crazy, man. That bikers still exist. Or at least gangs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one of the first things I read by Hunter S. Thompson was that was his first main book, was on the Hells Angels back in the 50s. Yeah.
Oh, and they were way bigger and way more dangerous.
Yeah, like back when Sonny Barger was running it, dude. Yeah. It was funny because they covered it pretty fairly, I think. You know, he's like, yeah, they're not all fucking animals, but they're definitely not fucking saints, you know?
Well, I think as the drug trade for the biker gangs has kind of dried up a little bit, and as a lot of the people got older, it has changed drastically the function that a lot of the biker gangs have.
Right.
Yeah, a lot more weekend warrior types are part now, and you know, it's just not quite the same. Though that's not to say you should just assume that biker gangs are cool now.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure there's still a bunch of them that are running a shitload of meth everywhere, but whatever.
Yeah, it's just the newer biker gangs are the ones tending to do that. The older biker gangs now are more like actual motorcycle clubs that they pretended to be in the 50s.
Right. Shit. Yeah, I'd imagine like the runs to Sturgis and, you know, like all the fucking traditional runs, motorcycle runs on Labor Day or whenever. I imagine they're all pretty fucking corporatized at this point. A bunch of fucking posers showing up to them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's a really good book, though.
I'd love to see Antifa go after the biker gangs. That'd be hilarious.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That would be a fucking... that would be entertaining.
Your white privilege on your motorcycle. Why are you stopping me?
Like, motherfucker, we're going to beat you with chains, and we know how to do it.
Yeah.
Fucking
motorcycles. Drag you down the road for a while.
Right. Or if we got a bike lock and a sock, you're not getting up, motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh, Akinara, that sounds like awesome. An awesome day.
Yeah.
Laying in bed.
Aren't we all?
Balls.
Yeah.
What is it about balls that, like, even when they don't itch, you can still scratch them and it's still kind of like itchy? You know, like, you didn't think they were itching, but apparently they were, and now you're just so much happier.
Yeah, something about touching the genitals, dude. It's weird. Yeah. It's almost like a comforting thing, dude. It's actually, I think it was Mark Maron and Patton Oswalt were talking about it, about their food addiction and shit. Yeah. And it's like, you know what? Sometimes just jacking off or jerking off will kind of quell that. It's like, yeah, it's something about touching the genitals. If I had just fucking kind of cut my balls for a little bit, I might not have eaten that entire cheesecake.
I'll have to think of that. I am trying to lose weight. That's all I got to do is fucking grab the pants once in a while.
Right. Yeah, if it's a real strong urge, you might have to actually jack off. But beyond that, just, dude, dude, this is disturbing, but I used to fucking, kind of do the Al Bundy kind of hand down my pants when I was talking on the phone to people. I never realized I did it until my ex was like, what are you doing? I wasn't massaging my cock or anything like that, but I would have my hand in my fucking pants, dude. It was weird.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't admit that on the fucking thing, but fuck it. I constantly forget we're live anyway, but...
No, I tend to, when I'm trying to sleep a lot of times, I'll just, grab one of my butt cheeks. It's weird.
Yeah, I guess we all got some weird shit.
Yeah, it's nothing...
Come on, Akinaro. You got something. What do you got?
Yeah. Sometimes he starts jerking off just because he starts scratching his balls.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to get that shit activated. That's for sure.
Sometimes what was it? I used to work with this chick. She was dating a real old school Mexican dude, and apparently she thought it was weird that he kept jacking off in the shower. So she's like, "Why do you jack off in the shower?" And he's like, "My dick gets hard."
Right.
And she's like, "You know what?" I was like, "Fuck, what?" And then I was like, "That actually kind of makes sense. I guess."
Right. The water hits your cock and bam.
Yeah, I was just saying. He was just like, "Oh, my penis is hard. I jack off. That's what I do."
Right. That's crazy though. I don't think I've ever had my dick get hard just from the shower, but
he was a pretty funny guy. He was a pretty wacky dude. He was a nice guy though. She managed to get herself a pretty decent boyfriend.
Right on. Yeah, it's weird. Sometimes they freak out about it. If you have a girlfriend and they get pissed off that you jack off, dude, you are not going to want to fuck as often as I do, so I'm going to jack off instead of fucking other women.
Well, and sometimes you just want to jack off, man.
Yeah. Sometimes you just want to pleasure yourself.
In 5 minutes, you come, you're done, and you don't have to spend all the time talking, cuddling, that other shit.
Yeah, all the bullshit.
Yeah, sometimes you're not interested in all that other stuff. I would assume at least some women are the same way. There's got to be some chicks out there who are just sometimes I just want to fucking jack off and I'm done.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Fucking Akinaro. God damn. He's talking about he woke up at 2 a.m. to watch a movie with a hot chick, starts jacking off and just passed out in the middle of it.
Wow. Just went to sleep, cock in hand. Dick in hand, sorry.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Unless you actually thought it was a rooster, that'd be pretty funny.
Stench got a good point. You're married with kids, the shower is just a convenient spot to do it where you're kind of hidden away.
Yep, and you're supposed to lock the bathroom door, so it's sort of like a natural barrier.
And,
Jesus, no, dude.
Come on, buddy. Cool. All right. I'm going to pretend that didn't happen.
Yep. Ignore that one.
So anyways, what else is happening in the world besides Irma?
Okay, so there's an interesting thing. So we know that the DACA thing, Trump basically just handed it back to Congress and was like, you deal with it. Essentially ending DACA, which was really a really good thing because maybe not a lot of people know this, but DACA was a presidential act that just violated the law, which is completely outside the president's scope of what the president is supposed to be allowed to do. It should never have stood as long as it has. Supreme Court should have struck it down.
Yeah, because that's something that affects citizenship and people. Well, not citizenship necessarily. Well, but allowing people to be here.
It directly contradicts laws made by the Congress.
Right.
It's not the president's place.
Yeah. Some executive orders I understand. I don't really like executive orders in general. But some of them I understand. But that one's fucking ridiculous.
If they're in regards to security of the nation, or if they're in regards to foreign affairs, then I think they're appropriate. Or if they're talking about how to enforce the laws. You know what I'm saying? Like we're going to enforce this law by doing this, and this, or whatever. That kind of thing makes sense. But when it directly
there's a need. Yeah, if it's something like that where it basically looks like you're just trying to fucking secure votes. Like, you know what I mean? I really seriously think was his main and probably sole motivation for Obama putting that in.
Well, that's one of the reasons why people want mass immigration. Is by and large, the lefties bring in, hundreds of thousands and millions of people who are going to vote for them, and then they generally try to stick them in the middle of right-wing sort of strongholds so that they can sway the vote even further, more bang for their buck kind of thing. So they don't bring in a bunch of refugees and then put them in like California or like New York. They bring in a bunch of refugees and put them in like the middle of Ohio or Texas.
Yeah.
That's a real big issue because it's essentially they're just fucking setting up votes. They're not doing it for anybody's benefit.
Yeah, they could care less about them other than having them vote for the Democrats.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Trump is repealing it, and he's basically telling you, like, look, you guys need to fucking do this. This is your job. You're the ones that are supposed to be making laws about this, so fucking get it done.
And there's enough Republicans in Congress right now that it probably will end up just getting ignored, and until time runs out and it's just over.
Right.
And as for right now, they're going to just repeal it and start enforcing like actual immigration laws. So the thing with decades, you have this sort of bullshit fantasy lying from a lot of the left-wing press claiming that oh shit, Mike, surgery, your kid's having surgery. I hope that works out, man. You know what? Unfortunately, Mike, you can't join us, and that's too bad. I hope your kid's all right. But I will say that we are going to talk about Islam as much as possible, just to irritate you. But the vast majority of the DACA people are felons. I mean, they've committed just a litany of crimes. It's like, and they're generally all like, laws they broke, like stealing identities and falsifying documentation in order to stay here. But there's still laws that were broken. I'm sorry, I don't want these people in my country. I don't see why that's a concern. It has nothing to do with crime.
No, it's ridiculous that if you want the fucking felons out, because I would imagine anyone else who had the opportunity to become a citizen, they would have become a citizen, like gone through whatever it takes.
Well, and we already take like a million people a year, which is an obscene number of immigrants. We really should bring that down to like maybe 100,000 at most.
Yeah, kind of the best and brightest.
I agree with the point system. I want the best of the best. I don't want just fucking whatever leftovers some country has. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, what other country has a fucking citizenship law like that?
Look, if you were to immigrate to Mexico, right? Like tomorrow, you were like, I'm just feel like becoming a Mexican citizen. Even if you gained citizenship, you still wouldn't even be able to own property.
Oh, wow.
Like you're the next generation would. So like your kids could actually own property. You would just be able to lease it from the government for like 1,000 years.
Oh,
it's essentially owning it, but like technically they can take it.
Wow. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. All these people cry about these laws, and they're like, man, we're pretty goddamn lax compared to pretty much all the rest of the world. You know?
And you got to speak the language. You got to have a job. You can't go in there if you don't already have something lined up.
Yeah. That's kind of the way it should be here. You know, Tim Sage Cronso.
I know of him. I've seen him in a couple things here and there. Very few, but he seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah, he wants to be here, dude, badly, and he has a hard time.
Well, he's a white boy.
He's having a hard time doing it.
Yeah, he's a white guy, so they don't want it.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
He's not going to vote for the Democrats, so they don't want him. They're going to try to stymie the whole thing.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous, man.
Ooh, an appendix, that's got to be fucking a nightmare. Mike, I hope that works out, man.
Yeesh.
All right.
Yeah, appendix is a tough one, man. I've never dealt with it, but from what I've heard, man, your appendix goes, that is incredibly painful.
Yeah, just the pain and the...
Yeah. Although I've had kidney stones, so that's pretty bad, I've heard, too.
I've heard that's a pretty nightmarish thing. I thought I had like a UTI, and I thought it was kidney stones, and I was much happier to realize that it was just a urinary tract infection, and all I needed was like antibiotics.
Yeah, cranberry juice and some antibiotics.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
no, I've had one too. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry. What?
I was gonna say I already drink a ton of cranberry juice. Like I drink at least 16 to 20 ounces a day.
Oh wow. I need to start doing that probably.
Oh.
But yeah, it's the two worst experiences of my life were, having one kidney stone in the one, and then a few years later having a kidney stone in the other kidney. Yeah, it's literally like it's like you're getting stabbed in the back and someone's constantly twisting the knife. And then, like, you ever, like, drank a bunch of, it's usually beer, I would imagine, but, like, any liquid. Like, you drink a bunch of it and you have to piss, like, really bad, that fucking urgency you feel, where you can almost feel it in your teeth somehow. I feel it in my teeth somehow for some reason when I got to piss really bad. Yeah. But anyways, like that urgent need to piss, that is constant, and you cannot piss, dude. It's like that level of urgency.
Like it trickles out.
Yeah, if you're lucky, dude. Like, it very rarely does any of it come through, and it's just you still have that fucking urgency to pee, and you're nauseous constantly and throwing up, dude.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's fucking
until you
horrible,
pass the stone, right? And then once the stone comes out, then you can pee again.
Yeah. But it takes days, dude. Like, it takes at least a few days usually, dude.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, at least 2 or 3 days.
Because I never want to get that.
Yeah, avoid greasy foods and caramel-colored sodas. Those are the main things.
Oh, well, I don't drink soda anymore, so I'm good.
Yeah, I've cut mine out a lot. Like, I'll drink it occasionally, just mainly, because I don't want my son to have to suffer and never have it. But, like sodas, caramel-colored ones are like Coke or Dr. Pepper, that color.
Yeah. I mean, I have a soda once every 2 weeks at most.
Yeah, that's kind of how I do it too, once or twice a month. Yeah.
What I do is I take the cranberry style juices, like cranberry, grape, cranberry, raspberry, cranberry, pomegranate, whatever cranberry.
Right.
And then I mix it half and half with seltzer water, and I'll drink that.
Oh, okay.
And I limit myself to like 3 glasses a day, so it's like 8 ounces a glass or something like that.
Yeah. So you're probably be fine, dude. That probably helps a lot, I would imagine.
I would hope. I don't want any more UTI. I'll tell you that.
Right. Yeah, no, those kidney stones, oh fuck. Yeah, literally the worst. Actually, I'm trying to think if withdrawal is worse. Withdrawal worse than? Yeah, actually, I think it was worse than the withdrawal from like opiates, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Withdrawal goes on longer, but the pain and the discomfort and all that, for that 2 or 3 days. Is so intense, dude. I think I'd rather withdraw from opiates again, than have to deal with that. If the time period were the same, overall, I'd probably rather deal with 2 or 3 days of horrific bullshit than 2 or 3 weeks of opiate withdrawals.
God damn, that is rough.
Yeah. Either way, I wouldn't. I would have to say I cannot recommend either of them.
Yeah, really. Yeah, kids, don't do drugs. That's what we're saying.
Don't do drugs, and also stay out. Limit the greasy foods and the caramel-colored sodas.
Oh, I did. There was an interesting thing I saw Sargon of God reported about. The mayor of Chicago, since DACA passed, he was saying that Chicago's a Trump-free zone. And that they're welcome there. They don't have to worry if they you can stay in Chicago, you'll be fine. And I wonder.
Jesus Christ.
Well, first of all, they need to start arresting people for that.
Yeah,
aiding and abetting is a federal crime. Aiding and abetting, arrested and prosecuted.
Oh, yes, I heard about that too.
But I wonder if there's any relation to this. Chicago reports thousands of more votes than voters in 2016.
Wow.
So through the Freedom of Information Act, they had to eventually hand over the voting information. Obviously, they don't tell you, who voted for who.
Right.
They can find out, how many people are registered to vote and how many people voted, and it was between 14 and 16,000 votes more than the number of voters that are registered to vote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so insane.
Fraud on a massive scale.
Yeah, considering how low the turnout generally is, like it should be way under however many people are registered.
Well, and
it should be close to like 60%, and it's at 120% or something.
it's enough that if there's a close vote, it could affect some pretty major issues in Chicago.
Yeah,
and in the state of Illinois as well. 14 to 16,000 might make a difference as to who goes into a congressional office.
Yeah, exactly, dude. It's fucking huge.
So, does that mean that the people of Chicago really voted for, some so-and-so the senator, or did they, really want a certain person on the city council, or was it just rigged voting?
Yeah, I don't trust the system at all anymore, man. Especially not after. Did you ever see the documentary? I think I asked you this before, but there's a documentary called "Hacking Democracy."
I want to say I have, actually.
Okay, all right, but yeah, they basically show how, and this was back in '06, so stuff may have changed a little since then. But they basically showed how, like, the little memory cards that they use in computerized machines, like, you can plug that into a computer and change the votes. And you can actually, because they showed it, like they did a thing where they had they had 5 people vote yes, 5 people vote no, so it was 5 and 5, and then they give it to the computer hacker guy, and then he goes, and then he does this thing, and then they go back and it spits out a coverage of 8 for yes and 2 for no, instead of 5 and 5. So yeah, like the memory cards themselves can be easily rewritten, dude.
Well, and the thing is, it's like there's no reason not to collect ballots and then store them for a year.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the butt, and it might be a little more expensive, but we need to do that so that we can go back and look and say, well, were this actually the right vote? Did it just get lied about?
Yeah. No, it's too important not to, man. Like, you should be able to look at a printout of who you voted for and make sure it's right, and then submit that on an actual paper ballot.
Yeah.
Because there was one chick.
No, go ahead. I would say we should absolutely require identification for voting. I
don't see why that's a big deal, dude. Yeah.
How racist do you have to be like, well, I'm sorry, black people are not capable of figuring out how to get a fucking ID or driver's license to vote?
Yeah, dude. It's pretty ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure they can figure out how to spend like $10 at the DMV and get a fucking license or an ID. It's not.
Yeah. Do you remember when they went out and started asking the black people? And they're like, an ID? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, that's pretty racist.
Well, this is what leftists think of you, buddy.
Yep.
You are too dumb, or too lazy, or whatever to get a fucking ID.
Yeah, I think everybody should be required to have some sort of valid driver's license. And any state issuing illegal immigrants, like illegal aliens identification in any way, shape, or form, like the people who are doing it should be arrested and prosecuted.
Yeah.
Like, we need to stop having this little game where it's like, well, we have these laws in place, but this city just doesn't fucking feel like fucking enforcing them.
Yeah.
How about you fucking enforce the laws you're supposed to enforce, or you go to jail?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is pretty ridiculous, man.
That's how it works. The laws are done. You don't get to just be like, no, we won't follow.
Yeah, it's fucked up, because how many people want to get into this country and can't? Because they're trying to go through legal routes and they have to wait and wait and wait. And other people that are illegal just come in and they can just become citizens, dude. It's it's pretty ridiculous, man. It's a ridiculous position to hold, in my opinion, man.
Well, set it up on merit, really set it up on merit. The people who have the most to offer and who've done the most work to get to that point should be the ones who get to come in.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't need people. We're not like desperate for workers anymore. We really need to, cut it down to about 100,000 a year at most.
Yeah, and then you're getting, like you said, the best and the brightest. Ones that are working tech jobs or whatever we happen to need. Well, and what is there's the H something one, or I forget what the thing is, but there's they call it the Genius Grant, where they can kind of circumvent all that and get people into the country through that. Yeah, I can't remember what the name of it is. It's H something.
Well, I know there's a lot of ways companies can go around immigration in order to get people to like large amounts of workers, and I think that needs to be shut down. But I can understand saying like, this person's like a super smart person. They want to come work here. We should take them because they're really good. I can understand that. I can see some sort of system set up that way.
Yeah, it should definitely be able to make exceptions for stuff like that.
But the main thing for
well, I guess it is, actually. I don't think they've done away with that. Right, yeah, but for anyone else, absolutely.
It has to be applied to everyone equally. I don't care what country they're from. or what race they are. If they qualify in the genius factor, and that's what you're looking for, you have to offer that to anybody.
Yeah, even if they're Muslim or whatever. Well, maybe not Muslim.
I'm just so tired of well, we're only going to offer all these special things to these specific racial groups. It's like, no, that's not okay. That needs
I don't know. I don't understand how they don't view that as unequal, dude. Like that is obviously unequal.
And if the same amendment that says you can't discriminate, goes both ways. You can't favor a specific group or another. That'd be a good one to pass. Like amendments, like favoring anybody based on race, gender, or sexual identity.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking ridiculous, dude. Yeah. Yeah. You know what, dude? I saw this one that was. I'm gonna probably butcher the way they did it, but basically. This is only tangentially connected, but it was basically saying something along the lines of, so it was the sins of their parents coming into the country illegally, and then it was like, okay, but you still want to punish us for slavery? Which was a way longer time ago than whatever sins these people's parents committed.
Well, and then why shouldn't they go with their parents?
Right.
So their parents get kicked out, and they get kicked out with them. I don't understand why that would be some terrible thing.
Yeah. If they want to come back, they can go through the legal.
Honestly, I think at that point they should all get a black check up by their fucking name that you're never allowed back.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Regardless. All right, I'm not sure if I agree with that totally, but if they committed a crime,
be allowed.
Well, I guess that is a crime in itself. But
yeah, you ignored our borders once. You don't get to come back and put like an application to come in legally. Yeah, I think there should be ways that we could potentially ameliorate that, but for the most part, I think it should be a pretty standard thing. Like,
I don't know. I think if they've been here a long time, and that's their No, I get your point, but I think if they've been in their country this long and they hadn't committed any crimes, I don't want to completely, eliminate the possibility of them getting back in legally. But I get your point.
If you're talking about somebody who is literally a child and was brought along with their parents but hasn't personally committed a crime, I could see your point.
Right.
The majority of the people on the DACA list are people who've committed crimes. So not just the but many other crimes.
Right. Yeah, no, that should be a one strike you're out. Absolutely, dude. If you commit any kind of crime while you're fucking here like that, you're fucking out and you're not getting back in, dude.
Yeah, and you can't come in legally ever.
I'm definitely okay with that.
Canada has that rule. I don't know, nobody hates Canada, so.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing the double standards, or the standard they want to hold us to that is non-existent or nothing even close to it exists anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous, man.
Well, in Canada, if you committed a crime in your own country, even like so much as just drunk driving, you can't go. You can't even go visit them. Like you just can't go in. Not to immigrate, but just to hang out, like on vacation and shit.
Right.
So, I mean, if that's how strict Canada is, like, and Mexico's not quite as strict, but they have similar rules as far as immigration.
Right.
Like, why is that such an unrealistic thing for us to do? I don't agree.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude. It's fucking insane, dude, that they want to... The rules are just, the rules they want us to live by are just unrealistic, man. It's again them wanting to either try to create this fucking world, this fucking perfect world, or they actually believe that it already is, or they believe that it'll fucking happen if we just act like it is. It's fucking weird.
Kill enough people sooner or later, everyone will get along or die.
Right. Yeah. Although, dude, this shit with North Korea is kind of interesting, dude. I'm like, holy shit, this might actually happen. This nuclear shit might actually go down, dude.
I fully agree with what was it? Six Hacks and Hammers thoughts on it, where it's like if the U.S. goes in and just decimates their fucking any sort of like airfield they have, just fucking demolishes all of their artillery, all their airfields, everything just in one fell swoop, which we very easily could do. Not easily, but it'd be well within the scope of something our military could handle.
Yeah,
very well.
No, I mean, I think they could do it pretty easily.
And then just allow South Korea to go in and just wrap it up. Maybe Japan.
Yeah, he made a good point about it would be a bad idea of having any troops from Japan or the U.S. going in there. If it was just the South Korean troops that went in to occupy or whatever, it should be fine.
Well, and there's South Korea shouldn't take North Korea back and be a united Korea.
Yeah. But it would be fucking horrible if North Korea. Well, anybody who hasn't seen the video, Sticks lays it out fucking perfectly, dude. Like he usually does.
Well, and then the guy that runs North Korea is out of his fucking mind. You know what I mean? Just like the odds that they're not going to just start attacking other countries is zero. If they take over South Korea, they're going to be on a fucking high, thinking they're badass, and they're just going to start fucking with everybody and launching nukes.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. And that's why you got to take in that one really fucking quick fell swoop, attack everything at once, take it all out, which again is well within all of our means. Because he's going to start launching those nukes as soon as he gets attacked, dude.
Yeah,
he's a fucking lunatic, dude.
And then that's the best way to handle it is before he has the opportunity to use them is the time for us to act.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of people hate it, but
but no, if you can't see what's going to happen, and it's like you said, Obama, everyone before him has just been kicking the can down the road.
Yeah, Clinton gave him the nuclear material. Yeah, and George Bush Jr. and Obama just gave him a bunch of money.
Yeah,
which blows my fucking mind.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Don't make
nuclear bombs. Have a couple $1 billion. Go play, kid.
Right.
Okay. What
and
the
they're
fuck
fucking doing it anyway. He did absolutely nothing to fucking stop.
Yeah.
What he was doing. They didn't bother to fucking
the
check.
United States bought and paid for those nuclear weapons, and by God, we should go take them the fuck back.
Right.
In my opinion, that's what we ought to do.
Yeah, because he is crazy enough. It's the reason that Pakistan having a nuke scares me. Is like with the U.S. and Russia, the mutually assured destruction kind of guaranteed. Like Russia's a little crazy, but they're not crazy enough to fucking destroy themselves. But I believe people in the Middle East, the guy in North Korea, I think those people are crazy enough to actually use the fucking nukes, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's fucking disturbing. Could help us for a small part of North Korea.
Right. We give them, especially like one of the mineral rich areas or something.
You just stay out of it. Like we destroy all the artillery and the airfields, and then they just march in and take a little corner because South Korea probably couldn't get to it fast enough to really sew it all up.
Right.
But if we eliminate as many of the North Korean troops and all of their artillery and weaponry as quickly as possible, pretty
yeah, I'd say the nuclear arsenal has to be the main focus of it. But after that, everything else, you have to take those nukes out if possible, because he's going to fire them off immediately as soon as he can if he fucking gets attacked at all. Yeah, and you're right. I think in the past, China would have probably stepped in or done something, but now I think China's fed up with North Korea as much as everybody else.
Yeah. Well, as far as like having nukes, that's where the line I think is getting drawn.
Right.
I hope that they don't decide that we need stronger trade sanctions.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Well, because if you're just taking South Korea a necessity.
Right.
South Korea at that point because they need all the resources.
Yeah, and it doesn't work anyway. It's shown that it does not fucking work. You try to appeasement, with a crazy person generally doesn't fucking work. It didn't work with Hitler, and fucking Chamberlain was doing the appeasement shit. Yep. And fucking he's probably just as crazy, if not crazier. Because at least fucking Hitler had the German people that could fucking build some shit up. North Korea is nothing, dude.
You know what works? Hiroshima and Nagasaki works.
Right.
Japan got crazy, thought they could fuck with us. And then we just took two of their cities out with 2 bombs. And we're like, yo, how many cities you got? Because we got time. And they were like, oh, looks like we're done. We give up. You know,
yeah. And if that didn't happen, you know how fanatical the Japanese people are as far as they were willing to fight to the fucking end. Till they're fucking wiping themselves out of existence.
We fucking wiped that spirit right out of them with Hiroshima.
Yeah. Well, no, it was the only way they could fucking surrender when it was absolutely obvious that we could. It was the only way for them to surrender and save face was the fact that we had a bomb that could absolutely obliterate them. I mean, they were training fucking school kids to fucking take sharpened bamboo sticks to try to fucking rush soldiers and kill them, dude.
Yep.
Like, it was fucking crazy, dude. You know, and North Korea, well, I don't know, man. It's obviously not a people's republic, for one thing. But yeah, that's kind of funny.
South Korea,
Democratic Republic of North Korea is so fucking hilarious, dude.
Yeah, the South Korea is great, man. Those people are happy lives. And
yeah, have you ever seen the like when they take pictures of like from space of like the nighttime and it shows like what's lit up and what's not? Like here on the whole East Coast is lit up and the whole West Coast.
South Korea's lit up, but North Korea's just dark.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy, dude. Yeah, it's such a fucking big, huge. What do you call it? Jesus Christ, I can't think of the word. It starts with a C. Not contradiction. Contrast, thank you. I fucking think that a word, dude. All right, but yeah, it's such a huge contrast, dude, between how lit up South Korea is and North Korea is just a bunch of fucking, farmers and shit.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's disturbing. I mean, it's like you got people living in the dark ages on one side of a fucking imaginary line that everybody drew and then somebody built a wall on.
Right. Yeah, and on the other side, it's just modern technology.
With some of the fastest internet in the world. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. It's kind of like the, what was the Shyamalan movie? The Village? Kind of like that, dude.
Yeah.
Where there's this little fucking pocket village and then there's modern fucking shit all around it.
Yep, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what blows my mind? I watch a lot of weird stuff on YouTube, and so you can watch a lot of videos of various methods for fishing in like Cambodia and Thailand, and like the poverty that those countries live in is absurd.
Yeah.
You just have these people like scraping bamboo fucking out and like weaving it into like little nets and like catching fish so that they have enough food to eat, you know.
Yeah, it's like barely subsistence level.
And they're miles above the North Korea. Like,
right.
These people are taking like used trash, turning it like old, Coke bottles and stuff, and turning it into like fish traps in order to survive. And North Korea doesn't have as much food as them.
Yeah, it's really fucking insane, dude.
Yeah.
But they got their military built up, I guess. I'm like, how are they not revolting against this shit, dude? Is it just the fact that they don't know any better?
They treat the people in the military so well in comparison to the average citizen that none of them are willing to fuck up what they got going on, especially if they have family that they're taking care of. Like, why would you fuck your future up for your family? Because not only will they kill you, they'll kill everybody you fucking are related to, and probably a lot of the people that you just hung out with once.
Right.
Or you could live super high on the hog, like the king of the fucking village, because you're in the military.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah. Like,
no, I guess it's not crazy. It makes sense. But yeah.
Yeah, you've been trained as a young man, because I think they probably take their soldiers at like 12 or 13. Probably they don't wait till 18. That would be a bad idea. And indoctrinate them that this guy is this god that, this benevolent god that runs your country. And the only reason everything's going wrong is because these evil Americans have corrupted your brothers in the South, South part of the country, and they're stealing from you.
Yeah. Yeah, though. Yeah, I guess that propaganda machine's got to be really fucking effective.
Oh yeah, they have to tell on each other.
Yeah.
At the end of every day, you got to go and fucking report everything you saw anybody do that was remotely bad.
Wow.
And you better have stuff to report.
Yeah, that's
don't
nuts.
think you're lying.
Yeesh.
And your buddies are going to tell on you too.
Yeah, that's so insane, dude.
Yeah,
then you're gonna get to the point where you're gonna have them just making shit up of people they don't like, or they're making shit up because they don't want to be called a liar.
Well, I bet you there's not a lot of making stuff up, because I bet you, like you say something, if you make something up, it's going to contradict what like 4 or 5 other people reported.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, Joe down the street didn't cry enough at Kim Jong-un's or Kim Jong-il's funeral. And then, 4 of the people were like, no, he cried enough, but this guy didn't. He just always blames everybody for his own, shortcomings. So who are they going to come after? They're not going to come after Joe. They're going to come after you.
Right.
Because you're lying.
Either way, man.
System up.
Yeah. Either way, fucking horrible way to live, man.
Somebody to publicly execute, once or twice a week.
Yeah, it gets the idea across, right?
Yeah, you're shooting somebody in the street. I'm sure it fucking makes it pretty clear who's in charge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hard to mistake.
It's a fucking horrible existence, man.
It's kind of like being in California. No, I'm kidding.
Jesus Christ. Damn. Yeah.
Oh, man. So crazy shit we're talking about. I have a list of 10 requests from Black Lives Matter.
Oh.
And this is pretty fucking funny. Like, it's so fucking bizarre.
Yeah. Do you follow Red Pill Black?
Yeah, I've watched a little bit. She was mentioned by Styx, I think, right?
You're right. Yeah, I think she's one of the people that YouTube was censoring or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you should follow her. She's pretty good, man. She's pretty good shit. Go ahead, though. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. So here's the 10 requests from Black Lives Matter. White people, if you don't have any descendants, will your property to a black or brown family, preferably one that lives in generational property. Number 2, white people, if you're inheriting property you intend to sell upon acceptance, give it to a black or brown family. You're bound to make that money in some other white privileged way. I think that they threw in the last little fucking bit. If you're going to make that money some other way, sneaky thieves.
Jesus.
Let's see. Number 3. This is the worst idea I've ever heard. If you're a developer or a realty owner of multifamily housing, build a sustainable complex in a black or brown blighted neighborhood and let black and brown people live in it for free. It would get destroyed. If people have no respect for what they don't have to pay for, they would just. It has nothing to do with race. Any group of people you let live there for free, it's just going to fucking shit on it.
Yeah, no, that's human nature. That has nothing to do with. You're right. It has nothing to do with race. It's like, oh shit, they just gave this to us. Well, fuck it, let's trash it.
There's a dance hall in the town I go to, like a little dance hall that does like weddings on the weekends to pay for the bills and stuff. But the owners mainly started it because they wanted to teach swing dance. Swing dancing and various other types of like partner dancing, and provide a place for people to hang out and go dancing.
Right.
So that's the stuff they enjoy, and then they pay for it with weddings. Initially, they were giving lessons for free, but people had no respect for it.
Wow.
It wasn't until they started charging for the lessons that people started to actually pay attention in the classes and get anything out of it.
Yeah, that's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then until they started charging like $50 for a month, nobody gave a shit.
Yeah, that's surprising, dude. I would think I would like be appreciative. Maybe not though. Maybe I'd be another asshole.
Some of the people that showed up were appreciative, but there was just so many people that would show up and just treat it like trash that it wasn't worth it for them.
Like, this isn't costing me anything. I'm just going to come here and laugh at these people.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay. Yeah.
Whereas if you're in, you get 4. Essentially, the way it worked was you paid $50 or $60, and you would get 4 1-hour lessons a month.
Right.
So, or no, 4 2-hour lessons a month. It was actually pretty good haul.
Gesundheit.
Oh, jeez. I should have muted myself, but I was sharing the screen. I just couldn't do it in time.
No big deal, man.
But essentially, like when they started doing that, people started to actually showing up on time, ready to go, and participating through the whole class and really working at learning the dance.
Yeah. Well, I'd imagine it weeded out the people that weren't serious about it as well. The people that are just showing up for fucking bullshit. Yeah.
And I talked to them on multiple occasions. They're like, man, we tried it. We tried giving away the lessons. We just wanted people to learn how to dance and enjoy it.
Right.
They were like, that was
it was like their passion or whatever. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they've been doing it for years. Like, they at one point were professional, like going out and doing like competitions.
Oh yeah. Kind of like Engelhardt?
No, you're talking like 15, 20 years of experience in swing dancing, whereas Engelhardt probably has like 5, maybe 6.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. I never tried that, man. I went to a club once where they were doing it, and I was like, that does actually kind of look like fun.
Oh, it's a blast.
But swing dancing, got into it. Yeah.
Blues dancing is way better, but swing dancing is still really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have an extensive background in dance. Believe it or not, like people see me to be like, that motherfucker used to dance all the time. I don't buy it.
Oh man.
Oh wait, here we go. So number 4, white people. If you can afford to downsize, give up the home you own to a black or brown family, preferably a family from generational property. You just give like $100,000 house away or something. Yeah, totally reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so fucking ridiculous. And this generational poverty thing is, I don't know, man. It seems ridiculous to me. Like, yeah, okay, your parents are poor, but there's no reason that you can't get out yourself. It really isn't.
At some point, you have to take responsibility for your own situation.
Yeah, exactly.
At some point, you can't keep blaming everyone else.
Yeah, there's plenty of ways out. Like if you chose to not do any of it, or if you chose to deal drugs instead, or whatever the fuck you do, whether it's just being lazy or whatever the case is, man, there's ways to get out of the fucking poverty shit, dude.
On an individual level, I expect people to take responsibility for their own actions. I will absolutely concede that there are a lot of issues for everybody, not just for any race. There's no race that has it worse than others. Everybody has the same opportunities.
Yeah, I love how they assume there's no poor white people, dude. That amazes me too. No, you still got the privilege.
No, the other thing is that there are a lot of issues right now with social mobility. That's becoming an issue where people just aren't. It's just a general, and it's not like any one particular group. It's everybody is having trouble getting from lower class to middle class.
It's the greed of the fucking higher ups that are rigging the system, dude.
Yeah, the corporations are fucking everybody, but it's not based on race. It's just everybody's fucked.
Yeah.
And then number 5, white people. If any of the people you intended to leave your property to are racist assholes, change the will, and will your property obviously to a black or brown family again. God damn, these are so.
What if you were intending to leave your property to the black or brown people who happen to be racist assholes?
I don't know what you're supposed to do.
There's a good possibility
being a racist and thinking that they can be racist.
Oh yeah, because power plus privilege. I forgot.
Yeah, you should probably hang yourself for your crime, your thought crime.
Yeah.
In that case. White people.
I love the word games. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
White people, you should rebudget your monthly so you can donate to black funds for land purchasing. Let me just point out the fucking grammar in this fucking sentence. White people, rebudget your monthly, not monthly fucking expenses, just your monthly. So you can donate
about fucking women in their periods
to black funds for land purchasing.
That would only make sense if they're talking to exclusively women.
Yeah.
Rebudget your monthly.
Yeah, exactly. Alternatively, you could say, white people, make a monthly donation so that black people can purchase land.
Mm-hmm.
That would be like a much more grammatically appropriate way of saying it.
But it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of the way it is. Like when you meet most people that are white supremacists or, racist white people, there's some intelligent ones, but a vast majority of them are fucking dumb as shit. So again, I assume it's the same for racist anyone else.
Pretty much. This is getting interesting. 7.
Right.
Number 7, white people, especially white women, because, and then in parentheses, because this is y'all's specialty, Nosy Jenny and Meddling Kathy. I don't feel that was necessary. Get a racist fired. Yaw, I don't know that yaw is a word, but yaw, at least it's not.
Well, yaw, a bullet will yaw after it's struck an object, and
it's not the way they're using it. Doesn't make sense.
I know, dude.
Y'all know what the fuck they be saying. You are complicit when you ignore them. Get your boss fired because they racist too.
Wait a minute. Okay, so they use the word yaw, Y-A-W, but then they pull out complicit?
And then you are. They don't even like your. They just go, you are complicit, and then you ignore them. I like the tack on the end. Dude. Get your boss fired because they racist too. Like your boss is just automatically racist. What if your boss is black? They don't know who your boss is.
Yeah.
What if you work for some Asian dude?
Right. Oh my god! You know what's scary is there's going to be white people that do this shit. There's going to be white people that actually fucking do this, dude. They're like, here, I am so horribly, I am so. I feel like
anybody dumb enough to do this is probably not very employable. Like that's a big problem for like.
Although there's a lot of people that fucking really never cast off the ridiculous notion of inherited guilt.
Yeah.
Like I cast that off really young in life. I was like, wait, I didn't do anything. And more or less, my family has really not been here that long, for one thing. And then the ones that have were in the North. Well, either way, dude, I was just like, yeah, this is ridiculous. Why would I feel bad? Why would I feel guilty over something I had no part in just because I happen to have fucking same skin color? Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Okay, sorry.
There's no more benefit from it either. It's not like you're still making money off of it. It's just not the case. It's too long ago.
Right.
Apparently, number 7, 8, and 9 are all connected. So number 8 is backing up number 7. This should be easy. But all those sheetless Klan Nazis and other little dick white men will all be returning to work. Get they ass fired. Call the police even. : they look suspicious.
Call the police even they. Call the police even they look. Okay.
I don't know what the colon is doing there. That's not how you use a colon.
The shit's too small. Where's the colon?
Semicolon.
Where's the colon?
Even semicolon.
Oh, right after the word even, there's a semicolon?
No, there's
a colon?
Semicolon. Call the police even semicolon. They look suspicious would work. But colon is different. That's not what it's for.
Right. That's fucking insane.
I know that's like super fucking retentive. You can use a semicolon to sort of denote because it's not really the most correct, but it's a technically allowable use. But the colon doesn't work that way.
Right. Yeah, it's usually like, here's an example of some things, colon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then you list them all and they're separated by semicolons.
Right.
It's the beginning of a list of some sort, generally.
Right.
Number 9. Okay, backing up number 8. If any white person at your work, or as you enter in spaces and you overhear a white person praising the actions from yesterday, I don't know what that's from. Oh, this must be in response to Charlottesville or something like that.
Oh,
first, get a pic, get their name and more info. Hell, find out where they work, get them fired, but certainly address them. And if you need to, you got hands, use them.
Oh, wow. Yeah, follow them around screaming, humongous what? Humongous what?
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Chanel Helm is a co-founder of the core organizer of Black Lives Matter Louisville. That's who wrote this thing. And you can email her. She includes the PayPal, chanelhelm@gmail.com, PayPal. I don't think that's a PayPal address. I think that's an email address, and I don't think that'll fucking work in PayPal.
Wow.
But good luck, Chanel Helm.
All right. Yeah, who would think the person that used the grammar we saw above might screw up her PayPal thing?
You might be able to look them up by email. I could be wrong there.
No, she checks her email address constantly. Like she thinks it's a PO box. Still no cash in there. This is where I said my email address was going to be, in this box outside my house.
Just wrote it down on there. ChanelHelm@gmail.com.
Right. Every day I check, still no PayPal money.
Well, I like that it's all just about getting money at the end.
Yeah, so fucking ridiculous, dude.
All right, so the final one here. Commit to 2 things, and this time she uses the colon correctly.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Fighting white supremacy where and how you can, parentheses. This doesn't mean taking up knitting unless you're making scarves for black and brown kids in needs, parentheses, comma, and funding black and brown people and their work.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That would be, after the parentheses here, should be a semicolon.
Right.
Followed by funding black, comma, or black. Oh, I see what. Yeah, that's a weird one.
Black and brown people.
Black and brown people.
And their work.
And their work. Yeah, that's a weird way. I don't know how you would say that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can limit that first.
Proper grammar and syntax are incredibly racist. So she's just fighting the racist patriarchy with this.
Yeah, this is hilarious,
dude. That's fucking amazing. The entitlement, dude.
It's Louisville's BLM reaction to Charlottesville. Like, yeah, that's gonna help things. Make everybody happy.
Right. Yeah, well, it's basically what's still fucking up this country is fucking still holding on to the fucking past, and it was horrible, dude. I get that, but it's been long enough, and it's fucking every fucking race, dude, has some fucked up shit in their history. At least all the ones I know of.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like,
and I love how we're now just lumped together. Instead of it's weird. I was thinking about it, and it does seem to be kind of a human nature thing, because back when it was almost all white people here, it was the Irish and the Italians that were downtrodden and fucking spit upon or whatever. Now it's just different colors.
The mix and lumps.
Yeah, dude. And so it's just, I guess it's kind of a human nature thing, but I think we've gotten to the point where we can move beyond it, but people don't want to.
Well, I think there's some people that are ready to move, and some people that just want to cling to it because it gives them, a vague excuse for whatever, fucked up shit they want to do.
Yeah, an excuse for them to be failures, dude.
Or excuse for them to be violent and mean and take shit away from people that they didn't earn.
Right. Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Take people's money, take their property. You can justify it because they're racist and evil. So if you steal all their shit, it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting ridiculous, man. I think getting rid of that inherited guilt thing would take away a lot of the fucking allies. The fucking white people that are allies to these people blows my mind, dude. They're just like, yeah, we're horrible. We get it.
Well, I mean, how many of the leftists promote Antifa? And Antifa, like in almost every place they have any real power, they are regularly putting shit up that's like, lefties get the bullet too.
Yeah, like they hate all of you. They hate all of this shit.
Like they're not on your side either, dummy. I don't know why you're helping them.
Yeah, I don't know why they're covering for them. Yeah, other than just to create civil unrest, which must be what the powers, the powers behind the scene want. The Soroses of the world.
The Islamic groups that are basically just trying to collect money to funnel to ISIS and claiming to be like peaceful organizations. It's like,
oh no, shit! That reminds me. Did you hear about the shit with Linda Sarsour and Hurricane Harvey?
No, didn't she try to just get money for herself?
Yeah, well, no. She got money to basically shit. I gotta look this up. But basically, she said it was for Hurricane Harvey relief. But basically, she was using the money to funnel in and try to get. God damn it! I gotta find it. But basically, it wasn't going to the Hurricane Harvey thing at all, dude. Hold on, I gotta look up and see exactly. Hold on, it's got to be in the news here.
Surprise.
All right, let's see.
I want to be surprised, but I know I'm not going to be.
Yeah, she's fucking a disgusting person. Hold on, let me see what she actually was using it for. I don't know how I can forget that, but
Funding BLM or Antifa or something.
Hold on, let me see. Begins our attacks. Accused of funding relief money to a leftist political organization. What the hell is it for? I'm trying to see.
I wonder if by leftist organization, it just means like the left pocket of her jeans.
All right, but yeah, it was basically funneling it to a fucking far left organization that was apparently just trying to, put forth a progressive / leftist ideology. And so it wasn't going to like the Red Cross or, anywhere where they're actually helping flood victims.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, and I'm going to guess that she hasn't been arrested and prosecuted.
Yeah. No, of course not, dude. That would only make sense.
Despite the fact that that's blatant fraud and a felony offense.
Right. Yeah, but look at
collecting for Hurricane Harvey victims and then turning around and not putting a single penny towards Hurricane Harvey victims. That's blatant fraud, and you can go to jail for that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. Or Anita Sarkeesian, like there's obviously some shady shit going on with hers because hers is supposed to be
there is
a nonprofit,
but there's really not anything we can do other than there's really not a lot that can legally be done other than just try to review her books and prove that she isn't a nonprofit.
Right.
But since she's an employee of the company, paying her own wages and running the company,
it's supposed to be non-political too, right? And it's pretty obvious she's putting forth a political agenda, in my opinion.
I don't know that there's any way to get her legally.
Yeah, or at least nothing that would actually.
I agree that she's probably breaking the law. I just don't think that it would ever there'd be any success.
Yeah, it'd be hard to prosecute, basically. Yeah,
like, it would be worth it because you'd hit her for the money. You basically just bankrupt her in defending the suit.
Although, again, have you seen how eager people are to fucking throw money at that bitch? She throws up a fucking legal defense fund, and she's going to get like fucking millions of dollars.
She'd probably make a profit, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on, dude. She didn't fucking come close to fulfilling her original thing before starting other shit.
I would think what we need to do is, if it was even possible, would be to get somebody on the inside who can get a look at the uncooked books. And if you get copies of that, like if you get a warrant for some undercover work and get the uncooked books, then you might be able to get her for fraud and actually, she'd actually have to pay some fines and go to jail maybe.
Yeah, but it'll probably never happen.
Well, it's for some reason Republicans don't seem to understand now. All of a sudden, they don't seem to understand how to fight propaganda. It's...
Yeah, that is weird.
Suddenly, because I don't think that a lot of the people in the GOP that have been elected are really Republicans. I think they're globalists, like a lot of the people in the Democratic Party. I don't think they're really, I think both parties are essentially just a bunch of fucking sellout garbage.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a problem, dude. They're so beholden to, whoever's donating money to them, dude. They're too fucking, corporatists, man. They're owned by different corporations, dude.
Yeah, I think you have a few people in the government in some key positions who are genuinely trying to make it better, who honestly do what they're supposed to do. Like Trey Gowdy, Trump is one. I think there's people who are genuinely no, this is supposed to serve the people, and it's not.
Yeah. How do you view Bernie Sanders? Do you think he's actually genuine but just an idiot?
I think genuine and idiot, honestly.
Yeah, I kind of do too, man. Yeah, he's just somebody that's apparently never really had a real job, never really lived in the real world, and just fucking, he's just a fucking dumbass, dude.
I picture Bernie Sanders as what eventually a lot of the people in Antifa will be like in their 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Delusional ideas of things that are going to work, but nobody really listens anymore because they're just that fucking wacky old guy or wacky old lady.
Yeah.
Shows
that's
up once in
funny.
a while to buy the fucking Depends while screaming about the fucking proletariat and shit.
Right. Oh, fuck. God damn it. I'm still angry, but I can't get out and smash fucking shit with a hammer anymore. So
Yeah, so they're just
gonna yell at everybody I come into contact with about it.
You'll be sitting behind them in line at the grocery store, and they'll be like, "You're being enslaved. When I was younger, I fought the government. They were evil.
I trashed this guy's limo and took out a bunch of trash cans.
Yeah,
It was epic.
Say I lit like a dozen trash cans on fire."
Damn.
Oh man, they're like fucking the nursing home in like 30 or 40 years, just like constantly with trash cans on fire. all the people that are like the nursing aides and stuff there will be like, why do they keep lighting this shit on fire? What do they have against trash cans? I don't get it.
Trash. It sounds kind of like fash, so they just hate it. Yeah. Trash, fash.
They get a little confused. Just well, they're right.
Did you say it's a fash can? Burn it.
I like that. It's a fash can. Oh man, that'd be right.
Did I coin something original finally? Wait,
I've heard that before. That might be original.
Fuck. I'm gonna fucking search it, dude. I'm going to Google fash can.
Freezer burn was going to be the fucking name of the frozen food reviews, but then there's like a channel that did that for a brief period called Freezer Burns. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, I can't name that now. I can't call it Freezer Burn. Because that's just too close. Like, it's not the same, but it's so close. I can't copy that guy.
I hear you. Yeah. All right, the only thing I'm seeing is fash ending a sentence and then the next one starting with the word can. I think I might have come into something original.
Fash can. You heard it here first.
Fash can. Yes.
Copyright Untitled Studios. September 7th, 2017.
Nice. You know how long? Well, again, I'll probably end up finding it somewhere else, but still.
If anybody else out there wants to use the phrase "fash can," we accept $5 fees.
Right. Yeah. We'll have the merch out sometime next week.
Yeah.
Fash can merch.
Actually, you know what? That's something Steven Crowder should put out. I think he would make a fucking buck. Just a bunch of money on that. Burn the fash can. Right. Just have him t-shirts with like an Antifa lighting a trash can on fire.
Fash can. Sweet.
Calvin.
Go 50-50 with him.
You know what they need? They need Calvin peeing on Antifa. Like the Antifa symbol. Like, because all those Calvin peeing on things are illegal. They're violations of copyright. The artist who did Calvin has no connection to any of those. So if you let Calvin peeing on anything, it's totally like violating his copyright. He just doesn't pursue it.
Right. How did that fucking come about? Was there an actual fucking comic of Calvin peeing on something?
Yeah, that's where they got the original drawing of Calvin peeing from.
Oh shit! I didn't
he
realize.
was peeing out his window.
Oh, okay.
Because he didn't want to get out. It was from his bed out the window because he didn't want to get on the floor because the munchers under the bed would get him.
Oh, okay. All right. That's kind of weird. But yeah, that's weird because there is a lot of those, dude.
Yeah.
It seems like it would be worth his time to pursue that.
It probably would be.
Or maybe he just doesn't care. Like he's made enough.
Well, he actually is a very interesting guy. He doesn't do a lot of
press
interviews at all, really.
Right. Let's get him on.
Oh, I doubt that would work.
Yeah, no, dude. But fuck, man. Dream big, man. Am I right? Dream big. Like, hey, I can guarantee nobody will watch it. Well, nobody will see it. I'll be like, all right, I'm coming on.
All right, here we go. I found a little article on it. For anybody who's never seen Calvin and Hobbes. Calvin and Hobbes is a fairly well-known comic in the U.S. It's probably not as well-known now, but it was when I was a kid. It was a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the original picture of Calvin peeing on stuff. Bill Watterson says he has nothing to do with the caricature at all. They probably originally come from Florida. They're all bootlegs, essentially.
I don't know. That would kind of bug me. Or maybe not. Maybe I think it was funny.
So essentially, this is probably the original drawing, and you can see how it's been altered. By flipping it with the mirror, dropping the trousers, and make it so its butt's hanging out. And it looks like just a little bit of change on the hair in the front. So it's just enough to make it legal.
Wow. And just not claim that it's Calvin.
So United Press Syndicate, the comics distributor, tried to stop the illegal Calvins. NASCAR even helped out. But with the strips stopped and no rights to otherwise license the material, they didn't make a dent, apparently.
Wow. Too many holes to plug, basically.
Yeah, it wasn't one big company. It was so many small bootleggers that were doing it. And they just weren't enough legal attempts at reclaiming the IP. There were also arrests, apparently. Some people actually got arrested.
Wow.
So at this point, it's just like it's so far out of the bottle that the genie just can't get put back in.
They kind of waited too long to start going after people.
Yep. Well, and then the big thing with Bill Watterson, the interesting thing I thought, was he had a very clear point in his mind where he wanted to stop making the Calvin and Hobbes comic. He was like, look, at a certain point, I don't want to do it to the point where it becomes ridiculous and it's just overdone. And he's like, he felt that it had reached the pinnacle of its success and that to make any more would just devalue it. As like it would no longer be anything he could be proud of after that.
Yeah, after it would just become a fucking pain in the ass job, basically.
And he's like, I know I could make more and I would make a ton of money, but I'd rather have respect for myself and just be done, knowing that I made something that was, everybody liked.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome, dude. Yeah, considering how much you probably could have sold out for, fucking to walk away from that and just be. Although I don't know, man. If you think about it, like, or for me, and you're probably similar. Like, I don't really need a whole lot, man. Like, just like I kind of need a place to live. But beyond that, like, I really just need food and shelter, dude, and that's pretty much it. So, like, if he's made, a pretty fucking decent living, he probably didn't need to do it anyway because he doesn't have that drive to fucking own material bullshit.
Well, he probably made his nut, and he probably has plenty of money to keep doing whatever other artwork he does. Like, he still produces art.
Right.
So, I mean, he's probably made enough that he can just like live comfortably and do his art for the rest of his life, and that's where he's like, I'm good. I got what I want.
Right. Sounds like somebody that's actually content, dude.
Yeah, I'd like to see an occasional movie. Get to go to the beach once in a while. I'm not a fan of going to like clubs or fancy restaurants or any of that. I don't really like them.
Right.
Expensive pastimes are not my thing.
Yeah, no, I'm the same, dude. Yeah, although I do still kind of like sports, but even then, I could do without it. Like, I don't need to go to games or fucking any of that kind of shit. Yeah.
40 Mike in the chat, his kid is out of surgery and doing good. So, yes.
Right on.
Sorry to interrupt.
Cool. Glad to hear it, brother. No, that's fine, dude. That's perfect. Yeah, Calvin's a pussy.
News Brown doesn't like Calvin.
But yeah, that's fucking awesome, Mike. And also, it's impossible for the Muslim faith to reform.
Just in case.
Sorry. I had to wait till I knew your kid was okay before I threw that little barb out there.
Yeah, and while we should definitely have a point system that's fair to everybody when it comes to immigration, we should just flat out deny any Muslims entry.
Yeah, no, it's too much of a risk. All of them are terrorists.
I'm sure, like anybody else listening, you could be like, "The fuck are they talking about? Because they're assholes."
All right, he's getting the joke. Fair enough. Well, it should have been pretty obvious, but all right. Oh shit, what were we talking about? Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Are you familiar with Gary Larson from The Far Side?
Oh, absolutely. Love The Far Side.
Yeah. Apparently, from what I was told, his whole fucking reason for doing what he did was that people were telling him it was impossible to have any kind of successful comic or cartoon drawing career without being incredibly talented. And his Far Side shit was just like, here, I'm not going to fucking draw great, and I'm still going to be successful.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. His stuff really wasn't as much about the artwork as it was about just the bizarre, contradictory things, like just the wacky jokes.
Yeah, like the cows are standing up and one of them's yelling, hey, people are coming, get down on all fours, or stupid shit like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Yeah, although I saw it, dude, my favorite fucking my friend of mine had what would have to be my favorite t-shirt of all time. I don't know if it was a Far Side one or not, but it was definitely Far Side or Far Side inspired. Do you remember the old Nut and Honey commercials, the cereal?
Oh, yeah.
Where they'd be like, what you eating? And they're like, Nut and Honey? Or, it's a Nut and Honey cereal. Well, there's basically a caption of, some old man, some old lady, and it shows like the old lady's asking, like, what you eating? And then on the cereal box, it says Nut and Bitch.
Nut and Bitch.
Yeah. Fucking cracked me up, dude. Yeah, I had a friend of mine, dude. He would wear it like almost every time we went golfing, dude. Just fucking cracked me up, dude.
The best shirt I have ever owned was from an XKCD comic, I think it is, XKCD, like a web comic.
Right.
And all the shirt says is, maybe if this shirt is witty enough, somebody will finally love me.
Damn, dude.
And this shirt will get you hugged by so many random fucking strangers. It's insane. I've been in the grocery store and just like the cashier's like, I need to hug you, and just walk around and hug me.
You're like, no, it's ironic, or no, it's not. Give me a hug. God damn it.
I just went with it. I don't mind hugs. Hugs are fun.
Right. Yeah, well, I'm in recovery, dude. You gotta enjoy hugs to be in recovery, dude.
Well, I do.
Or at least to go to meetings, dude. It is the standard greeting is a hug, dude.
I did blues dancing for a long time, and I intend to do it again when I get back in shape. And it's essentially dancing in a hug for like 3 minutes.
Right.
If
Nice.
I can find some blues dancing video that probably won't get me in trouble. We're such a small channel, I'm not as worried. And if I'm not playing the audio, I think I'm good.
Yeah. But yeah, seriously, anytime you see two people hugging in public that looks weird to you, that is probably people that know each other from a recovery meeting.
Oh, really? Or dancers.
Yeah, it could be, but no, I was just thinking about it the other day because I ran into this guy that, like, I was almost said his name, but it wouldn't really matter. But I ran into a guy I know from the meetings that I hadn't seen for a while, and we're in like a just a gas station convenience store or whatever. And I'm like, hey, what's up, man? And hug, or whatever. And obviously, if you're listening to us, it's pretty obvious we're not related.
Yeah.
But they're like, why the fuck would those guys hug? Like, I can just imagine other people being, why the hell were those guys hugging?
So here we have on screen blues dancing.
So that's pretty close.
Yeah, chest to chest.
Oh, man. I could not do that without fucking popping a boner, dude.
There's not as much connection in the hips as it looks like.
No, okay.
There's actually, so the general rule is like you want to have enough distance in the hips that you could hold a kitten from falling, but not that you would squish the kitten.
Oh, Jesus. Nice analogy, dude. Who came up with that fucking analogy? That's fucking awesome.
There are some people who like they're really good friends, or they don't have a problem grinding on each other. That do grind and stuff, but that's not as common.
Yeah,
as you would.
Gotcha.
And
the common etiquette would be what you mentioned, but if you're closer, you can do more. But if you're dancing with a stranger, the kitten analogy applies, I'm guessing.
Now you can lead with your thighs. But generally, that's somebody and have probably danced with before, and then that's a little more. Thigh leads are extremely high level. Like that's really not a common thing. But I've done it. Like I was really good on it. I could teach it.
Gotcha.
Like I'm not quite a teacher level dancer for the most part, but I'm more than capable of teaching like the basic of blues dancing and some of the intermediate stuff.
Yeah,
I almost taught it.
Yeah, I thought you said you taught that stuff at like an old folks home at one point.
I was assisting a friend of mine teaching swing dance, which I did know about East Coast and Lindy Hop to teach that.
Okay.
Swing dancing and blues dancing. So East Coast dance, East Coast swing, Lindy Hop and blues, I knew well enough to teach. I knew West Coast and salsa enough to just dance it like for fun. I also knew like the cha-cha-cha dance. I forget what that's called. The cha-cha-cha. I knew how to do that pretty good. I knew some basic tango and some basic waltz. And I could kind of fake foxtrotting a little bit.
Right.
But I haven't done a lot of dance in a while. But I would throw like some foxtrot into blues and stuff. I just learned a bunch of different ballroom.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, I actually enjoyed it. I don't know. It's weird. I'm always self-conscious about dancing, like, kind of in general, like at a club or something. That stuff where there's kind of rules to follow. I've kind of always enjoyed.
I'm not a fan of the club dancing and stuff because generally it's just fucking and it's like fake fucking goes on. And there's no style, there's no. I mean, with blues dancing, you're dancing to like classic blues a lot of the time. Sometimes you're dancing some contemporary, mostly classic blues, and it's very stylized. From the little bit you saw was just the very basic step. You don't stay connected that close the whole dance. There are 3 or 4 different positions that you can be dancing just solo with each other. You could be dancing at arm's length. And in a standard ballroom hold where it's not chest-to-chest connection.
I gotcha.
And over the course of a song, you'll generally switch between all of those. There's things where you're lifting your partner up, you're putting her in the air and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of variation. It's a lot more athletic than that in a lot of cases, especially if you're doing like juke joint blues, which is a lot more fast-paced. That was a little more slow blues. And I'm getting to stuff that nobody really knows.
Yeah, you never know. These guys might find it interesting. I'm with you. I'm interested.
The more juke joint blues you're doing a lot more fast paced. Like it's closer to like swing pace, swing dancing, like rhythm and pacing.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know, man. It was just, at a certain point, you realize that it's just dancing. It's all dancing. And once you get past thinking about, well, am I doing this move? What move am I going to do? Like it all becomes sort of a muscle memory thing. And you're dancing with somebody who can handle that, who can follow that. Or if you're dancing as a follow, who can lead that. You just flow. And it's sort of like having a conversation with the other person. It's a weird give and take connection to where like they'll start anticipating stuff that you're going to do that you didn't know you were going to do. You're on that same level.
Yeah, that's a nice way to connect, man. That's fucking awesome. Like if you're that connected, or if anybody's that tuned into each other, that's fucking cool.
Yeah. Well, that's so. There's also an alternate that they were starting to kind of do a little bit of micro blues, which if you look at what we were watching, the dance there is way faster than micro blues and way more movement than micro blues. Micro blues almost looks like you're just standing there with like in a hug for 3 minutes. But you're matching breathing and eventually like your heart rate with your partner. It gets intense.
That's fucking crazy, dude. It's
almost like partnered meditation. You could say, because the movements are so small and it's just I did it a couple times and micro blues was just really intense.
Yeah, it sounds like it, man. It's fucking crazy.
It wasn't sexual, like I'm sure a lot of people might think that, but really it was a whole different level. It was like meditating with a partner is the best I can put it.
Yeah.
And micro blues I would definitely do again. That was very interesting, but that was definitely like a sort of up your ass hipster kind of bullshit version of blues.
Crazy.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is when you're looking at that, I was probably a better dancer than either of those two. And I'm not trying to be like an asshole, but just because, and the thing is when you do those dances and you learn them, you really have to learn both sides. You'll be dancing with other dudes that close. So you really have to just fucking get used to your boundaries being a totally different set of boundaries when you're dancing and stuff.
Right.
But if you don't learn how to follow, you're not going to ever be as good of a lead as you could be.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah,
kind of have to understand both sides of it.
Yeah, gotcha. If you learn how to follow, you become a better lead. Same thing for follows. If you learn how to lead, you become a better follow because you know what
the other one's
about.
Other
side is about. Yeah, and so you got to learn both. And so I was in the process of becoming I was a decent follow, not a great follow. Like I was okay. I wasn't the worst follow on the floor, but I was okay.
Yeah.
But as far as lead, I was an excellent lead. Probably one of the better dancers locally, and then in San Francisco, I was probably like in the middle range.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep, I got really into it.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like Hearth still is then. Yeah. It still is.
Yeah. And then you were talking about not needing like fancy shit, not wanting to spend a lot of money. A lot of social dance things, like it's $10 or $15 for the night. And usually they'll give you like a 1 hour lesson at the beginning of the night, and then they'll have DJ'd music for like 3 or 4 hours.
Oh wow!
So you're going to go hang out.
Deal.
Yeah, you're going to go hang out somewhere for like 4 hours, dance with everybody, have a great time. Pretty much everybody's supposed to dance with everybody, but you can say no if you don't want to dance with me. No big deal.
Right.
Obviously, and if people are being assholes, you go and talk to the organizers, and they'll kick them out. Some guys just don't understand how to handle like no, and some guys think it's a chance to fucking grope.
Right.
Because they think they're in a nightclub, and it's not a nightclub.
Right.
And then most cases, like you bring your own water, but sometimes you'll have to buy a bottle of water for like a buck a bottle or something.
Right.
Depending on where you're at, and so like really, you can spend $20 and have a whole fucking 4 hours of fun with your buddies or whatever.
Yeah, it's actually a great deal, man. Fuck yeah.
I was not making lots of money, so it was a great way to spend my money and maximize my fun.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my ex wanted to do that, or I think she wanted to do ballroom dancing, and I was just like, nah, that doesn't sound. If she wanted to do swing or something like that, I probably would have. But something about ballroom dancing just never appealed to me, dude.
I think if I had started with ballroom, I never would have been interested. But having started with swing and then moving on to blues, and then just getting into like, there's tribalism. Well, there's like a bunch of swing dancers who think blues dancers are assholes, and a bunch of blues dancers who think swing dancers are losers. And like only blues is cool and only swing is cool. Well, I got into kind of both. Like I started swing dancing for like a month, and then I was like, I know, I'll sign up for this like fucking weekend long, super intense, like 8 hours of class a day workshop for blues dance that I've never heard of, just because it's something I haven't done and I'm going to go do it.
Right.
And I'm like, and it's dance related, so I'm going to fucking learn it. So I never got into either of those tribes. So I kind of got to see the sort of like, oh, it's really amazing how much similarities, what the differences are between the two styles of dance, and how do you really separate them out? Because some of the moves are the same in both.
Yeah. Like you said, it's just bullshit tribalism, fucking people wanting to feel superior.
So that made me naturally more enthusiastic and interested in learning what's the same between ballroom and swing and blues. So I went and took a bunch of ballroom and like salsa lessons, all that good shit.
Right. Yeah, that shit's weird, man. People want to do that. It's kind of like, I guess, in comedy, apparently, like stand-ups. There's a big thing between stand-ups, improv, and just straight-up comedic actors, where they kind of fucking think the others are shit and that theirs is the best. Like stand-ups think that fucking improv is shit, and then improv thinks that stand-ups are shit, and fucking vice versa.
I'm gonna absolutely see that.
They're all pretty fucking hard, I would imagine. They all take a pretty high amount of skill, I would imagine.
The thing is, there's room for all of them. That's the really funny part.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous to fucking have to shit on other things like that.
There's being a successful improv comic is not taking anything away from a successful stand-up comic.
Right.
That's just not the way it works. And vice versa, the guy who's doing comedic acting is not taking anything away from anybody else.
Yeah. I just couldn't believe when I'd heard about that. I'm like, really? Like, they fucking really shit on each other for that? Like, if you're making people laugh, fuck it, man. Who cares?
Well, it sort of ties into the way that sort of jealousy sort of ties into the whole like Bernie Sanders thing that was never going to work.
Right.
It's sort of like we have to punish people for being successful instead of figuring out what's wrong with the system and fixing it. We just need to redistribute the wealth. It's like you can't take a bunch of people that aren't successful and just give them a whole lot of money and then it's going to magically fix everything. That's not how you fix it. You know what I mean? Like you can't.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah, well, no, it's basically one of the big reasons that fucking communism kind of fails everywhere is they kind of go, and if the communism takes over, they're kind of like, well, anybody that's in any kind of position that's successful obviously got there because they did something horrible or shitty, and they're awful people. Like, it's probably true for some. And really rich people, but you can still be successful and not necessarily be a bad person. Maybe you're just a really good business.
Just worked way harder than everybody else.
Yeah. I don't get that.
What you have to do is you have to figure out how to curtail the people who are doing the things that are bad, while encouraging the people that are doing the things that are good. And start working on a system that starts rewarding people for working hard so that more people are inclined to work hard.
Yeah.
Because right now there's a system where like you work really hard and then you still end up working at Burger King. That's the problem. So we need to that's what we need to address. It's not that we need to pay people at Burger King more, although I do agree that they should make enough to have an apartment that has a limited amount of roaches, not just overrun.
Right. Yeah, something basic, man. Kind of, it should be at least at the poverty line or above, slightly above the poverty line.
Time at any job, regardless of what that job is, I feel you should be able to have a shithole apartment and be able to like afford like a bus pass every month, and have food to eat and be able to occasionally go see a doctor or a movie. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not thinking you should be making enough to drive like a fucking brand new Beamer. That's absurd.
Yeah. But you're right. Any job that you work that much should definitely. Yeah. And the fucking market's just. It's not like places like McDonald's and that having to raise the minimum wage is going to affect them all that much. You don't have to raise your prices that much, considering how many customers they get per hour or whatever.
At all. They're just not making as much profit. Raising the wages to a reasonable amount is not going to bankrupt the company or even come close. It's just going to make it slightly less profitable.
Yeah, so instead of obscene profits, it's just outrageous.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to do it. That's the problem. That's where the disconnect comes from a lot of the people who talk about free market. Is they're like, well, you're going to bankrupt these companies. No, not really. Their stockholders just won't make quite as much money. They'll still make a substantial amount. It just won't be as insane.
Yeah, but seriously though, let's say they want to maintain the same income as before the minimum wage got raised. They really would not have to change prices that much, dude.
Yeah, it'd be no more than a nickel per item at most.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, considering how many people come in per hour or whatever to these places. Yeah, it's ridiculous to assume that you'd have to make the you're raising it $4 an hour. Well, every item's going to cost $4 more now. Like, no, not really, not at all.
Yeah. Well, and then a lot of this stuff is going to end up being robotics anyway. Like, not just Burger King and Taco Bell, but a lot of those are going to end up being robotics doing that work. But roboticism and automation is taking over a substantial amount of the industry. And quite frankly, what I think should be occurring is that people should be getting more money for less time worked. So we should probably take the work week from 40 hours to 32.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll have more people to do the jobs and they'll get paid a more reasonable amount so that everybody's benefiting from the automation and not just like three dudes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if there's just not as much work to be done to provide and maintain our way of life, then maybe
and it's kind of the way it was
evenly, so everybody's getting to do some of the work, but it's not,
Yeah, I would imagine, when the Industrial Revolution was happening, people were probably fucking complaining that it was going to ruin society, and obviously it hasn't. When automation comes in,
give it time. There's
yeah, that's true. Maybe we just haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, but I don't think things like the fucking universal basic income will help. Like Joe Rogan keeps talking
Yeah,
about
that's
one.
gonna be. Yeah, that's kind of disincentivizing a lot. Kind of.
Well, it's communism. It's a whole nother level. It's not socialism. That's actually communism. Well, you're just going to make X amount of money no matter what, and it's plenty to live off of. So you don't have to actually work, but you probably will want to work because otherwise you'd be bored. I don't think you understand how humans work, sir.
Right. Yeah, that's Rogan assuming everybody's like him.
Yeah, I think you're looking at like 90% of the people at that point are going to be like, "Fuck you, no job for me, man. I'm gonna sit home and play video games." I'd probably sit at home and play video games for like a couple of years before I finally got to the point where I was like, man, I really got to do something.
Right. Yeah. Considering how much of a backlog of games that I want to play that I never played, yeah, I think I could go a couple of years at least before I was bored enough to be like, I guess I should probably get out and do something.
Coming out with new ones. By the time
that's true. You would never catch it. Yeah, even without working and just doing that all day, you're really not going to be able to catch up to all the games that you'd want to play and with the new ones coming out.
Well, and then you also have to look at what happens to people when they win the lottery. So I mean, it's similar to winning the lottery in that you just suddenly you don't have to work. People generally just blow the money on nothing.
Yeah,
and are suddenly broke again within like a couple of years from the lottery. I mean, it's just gonna be a smaller scale of that where they just like blow their money on fucking potato chips and fucking booze, and then complain that they don't have enough to live on. I mean,
yeah, it's going to create a lot more entitlement, and I think there's enough entitled people in the world today without universal fucking income.
Yeah, well, I think what we need to do is really just turn the tap of outsourcing off, or turn it to a trickle. Because
I've always had a problem with that. That's.
And I'm not real concerned with how well China does. That's not my. I don't care.
Right. Yeah, considering they're kind of taken over financially anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I don't like Chinese people. I don't care about India. I don't care about China. I don't care about Russia. Their income, I don't give a shit.
Right. They can deal with their problems. Yeah.
China's really rich in resources. They got plenty. They're not going to be suffering if we're not fucking sending all our labor over there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think, if you're doing a certain amount of level of business and you're fucking centered here, you shouldn't be allowed to outsource all that shit, like the IT, tech shit, or even customer service. Yeah, I think it's ridiculous that they're allowed to do that.
I would definitely support like a very only X% of your company can be outsourced workers if you want to run your business in the U.S. at all. If you want to access your market.
Yeah, or if you just want to do business in the U.S., man. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
you want to access your market. If you even want to work, if you want to sell shit in our country, you got to have a certain percentage of your employees are here only.
Yeah,
and you could do it per product. So like Coca-Cola is sold worldwide. So the amount of Coke you sell in the United States has to be produced by a certain percentage of United States workers. And then, the Coke you're selling in other places can be, manufactured over there just fine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Whatever amount of workers it takes to make 1 million bottles a year, because you sell 1 million bottles in the U.S., only X percentage of them can be from, outsourced labor.
Right.
The people that make 1 million bottles need to be working, in the U.S. kind of thing.
Yeah, because it seems incredibly fucking unfair. I don't know if unfair is a word, but to be able to benefit from being from America's main market, and then not having a lot of your fucking employees be Americans.
The problem is that it bypasses our basic labor laws and essentially allows them to have essentially slaves in other countries.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've definitely heard some horror stories, and they're pretty similar to what it looked like here back in the 1800s with sweatshops and shit.
Yeah, and it's like I don't think we should be allowing countries or companies that do business in our country to do that.
Right.
And if they don't want to conform, that's fine. They'll just lose our market.
Yeah.
And if that's
I have no problem with that either, man.
Go out of business. Oh well.
Right.
Somebody else will take that market.
Yeah. If you don't want to do it, go ahead. We'll find somebody who can, or somebody willing, and I guarantee it won't be hard.
I think I'm like a constitutional isolationist. Like I'm real big on the Constitution, and I really think we should be isolating ourselves from a lot of the world.
Mm. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. Yeah, it's tough. Although on the one hand, it's tough knowing that people are suffering in places like North Korea, the Middle East, and shit like that. It's tough to know that's happening, and then not
wipe out North
do anything about it.
I'm not saying we don't have a military presence. I'm saying we stop getting involved in the other shit.
Okay, I gotcha.
People and just stop.
Gotcha.
If individuals in the United States want to donate to a charity and that charity wants to go out and help all these other places, great. That's fine. I don't want my tax money going there.
Yeah. It is crazy because doesn't it end up getting to the point where fucking okay, we loan money to this country's loaning money to these other countries. It seems like it's all connected, and we could just stop loaning each other money.
Fucking giving billions of dollars away every year.
Yeah, and I think there's been getting a lot more talk about disbanding the UN too.
Yeah, well, I just want to see the UN
because it really does seem pretty fucking pointless.
Just imagine if you got like twice your income tax return every year because the U.S. stopped giving money away.
Yeah,
or we could just lower tax rates across the board.
Mm-hmm. Disband the UN. We finance pretty much the whole UN, right? I know it's centered in New York, but yeah, I mean, and it does nothing, dude. It really does nothing, dude.
It gives people a stake in not starting wars.
Yeah.
There is a lot of petty wars that have probably been staved off by the UN. I can understand wanting to keep it going. I can also understand wanting other people to pay some of the fucking bill.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest part of the problem is we're footing the whole thing pretty much.
Europe, you've been sitting at the table for a long fucking time. How about you, jackass, pick up the check?
Yeah, and nowadays, do you really need to have all these foreign diplomats be here? I mean, you can really do this shit from all their separate little countries, and you don't have to have this fucking big ass building and having to house all these. I
think you lose something in internet communication that you probably don't. Especially
maybe, but
multiple different languages, different cultures.
Maybe, but
posture and stuff like that. A little more.
I think they could be just as effective without having to meet in person, dude.
Probably. I'm just saying. I think it's not a bad idea to have a meeting.
Yeah. No, I know. I get what you're saying. Yeah. There's different meeting face to face in the same room, as opposed to just over the internet. But I still think the end result could be the same.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It'd be worth giving it a shot. Maybe cutting down on the amount of FaceTime.
Right. Like only assembling for some really, really important shit, or once a year or whatever.
Twice a year, other than emergencies, I think would probably be enough.
Yeah.
Have two summits, biannual summits, and then other than that, unless there's some sort of state of emergency, just everything can be handled online.
Right. God, if only the world listened to us, Stabby.
Well, yeah, we'd solve all the problems.
Yeah.
Put me in charge.
We got all the answers.
A whole lot of fucking people.
Right. But honestly, yeah.
I'll make Hitler.
Probably would be a lot better than the way shit's going nowadays, dude.
I'd make Hitler look like a pussy.
Right.
Streets would run red with blood, my friend. There'd be fucking everywhere you walk on the ground would just be muddy and pink.
Yeah. Everything would look like that red tide. Oh shit, that reminds me. I forgot to send you the picture of the fucking the videos of the you were talking about the plankton. Remember the luminous plankton? I forgot there was there's a few videos out there showing that shit.
Oh, I see those. It looks really awesome, man. I definitely would love to go check that out at some point.
Yeah, apparently, I don't know how often it happens, but it definitely happens around that San Diego, Carlsbad area.
The other thing I really want to see at some point is like the Northern Lights. I think that's pretty fucking cool.
Yes. Yeah, actually, me and my son both want to do that, dude. My son wants to move to Alaska. which I'm like, dude, you don't understand how cold it is there. But yeah, yeah, I would love to experience northern or the southern lights, whatever. Probably be northern.
Actually, you know what? The only reason I couldn't live in Alaska is the lack of women.
Yeah, is it pretty bad there?
2 men to every 1 woman at least.
Oh Jesus!
The ratio is pretty bad, and if you get out in the boonies, you're not seeing any ladies.
Right. Yeah, any men that have one, keep them locked away, I would imagine. What? No women here.
Well, and at a certain point, I'm sure a lot of the women start to look like a lot of the men.
All right, out in the boonies.
They just have short beards.
Yeah. What's the show? I think it's on Discovery. The Brown family there, the Browntown family.
I don't know, man. I don't watch a lot of that.
Oh, there's a show where they follow a family that lives out in the boonies in Alaska.
Well, there's like a redneck one, but the one I've seen a little bit of is the Kilcher family. And the only reason I watched any of that is because I don't know if you know who Jewel is, the musical artist.
Oh, yeah.
But it's her family. And they all live
in
Alaska, and it's a big reality show. It has nothing to do with Jewel, by the way. They just show what it's like living in Alaska as a fairly well-off family who lives basically off the grid.
Right.
So they're not like super poor. Like they have some pretty fucking expensive equipment up on their farm, but they're not connected to any sort of city. You can only get there by boat or helicopter.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, the show I'm talking about essentially the same thing. Although you get there. I don't think they ever use helicopters, but yeah, they're trying to set up like wind turbines and shit like that.
Yeah. I think the one you're talking about is like the redneck version. Like the Kilchers are not really redneck in as much as
yeah, no, the one I'm watching, they are definitely rednecks.
I think they sort of play it up. Like they sort of play it up on that one, but the Kilchers are just people.
Yeah, you're right, because they seem like they would be a lot more aloof if they were truly as rednecky as they want you to think on the show that I watch. Yeah.
I think they're playing the parts there.
Yeah.
I think it's impossible for anybody on a reality show not to, though. Like, let me make that clear. I don't think it's bad. I just think it's impossible not to do that.
Right. People are watching. You want to play shit up and give the people what they want.
You got a house full of people. Like, so the Real World, the MTV was the first, kind of the start of the whole thing.
Yes.
But if you got a house full of people who weren't willing to ham it up and get a little crazy, it would have been the most boring show on the planet because hung out.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, like, dude, can you stop fucking eating my yogurt? And they were like, oh man, I'm really sorry. I'll get you some more yogurt. All right. I'd really appreciate it if you didn't keep eating my yogurt because I keep running out, man.
Right.
And then people would fucking be done. Or like, dude, you never do dishes. Why is this such a problem for you? All right, I'll do dishes, man.
Yeah, and they'd always pick at least a couple ones that are just straight up batshit crazy.
Yeah, and then just pour alcohol on them. Just fucking gallons of alcohol on these poor bastards.
Right.
But well, I mean, seriously, you hear some of the behind the scenes stuff from some of the early on like shows like that, the Real World and stuff. They would constantly be like, you should have a beer. Oh, let me make you a cocktail. We're gonna have a bartender behind the scenes who's making mixed drinks for you.
Wow.
Whatever you want. Oh, look, another 10 bottles of fucking hard liquor.
Yeah, it's one of the things I kind of respected about Dr. Drew is when he was doing Celebrity Rehab. He freaked out because these people are like, oh no, what if we do this? And he's like, dude, you cannot do that to these people. Like, they're incredibly vulnerable now. You cannot fuck with their lives like this. Yeah. And it got to the point where he basically said, the only thing that the producers can come in and ask me was, how's the patient doing and what's the plan going forward? Nothing else.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that was his fucking ground rules to make sure that they didn't just fuck with these addicts early in recovery, dude.
Which is as it should be, man. I mean, it's not cool to just take somebody's life when it's really something that serious.
Yeah, and that's what's fucked up is the producers wanted to start doing that kind of shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you're fucking evil, man.
TV goes though. You gotta realize most of it's scripted.
Right.
It wasn't originally all scripted. It was guided. Like they had plans for what they were hoping to get, and if they got something different, great. It's all super cheap anyway. But at this point now, really, it's a lot of the arcs and stuff are scripted.
Yeah.
That's why all the reality shows are so similar.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
They know what.
Although on the Celebrity Rehab, it was kind of funny because he was like talking because he was like talking like Mary Carey, like one of the porn star chicks, and he's like, "Are you sure? You're sure you're comfortable with the cameras here?" And she's like, "Do you know what I've done in front of cameras? Like, yeah, I'm fine with whatever we're doing here in front of the cameras."
And she's like, "At least this time my vagina won't be as stretched out."
Right. Oh shit. But yeah, it is fucking crazy how they would just fuck with people like that.
Like if you're gonna put a hand up my ass, then I might be a little worried.
Right. Damn. Crazy shit.
I'd be the worst person on one of those because I know that the cameras are always trying to get like a frame. Like they want to get people in frame so that they're catching all the action and it's really watchable. Right. And I would just make it my mission in fucking life to be at least half out of frame in every single opportunity they have.
Right. Yeah, figure out where all the still cameras are and where you can stand, where none of them get a good shot.
So I'm half out of frame every goddamn time.
Right.
Like every piece of drama, awesome. Motherfucker's only half on camera.
All of this we cannot use. God damn it.
Exactly. Just to the point. And I'd start silly fights with people.
Right.
Like, you stole my sheep. They'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Mm-hmm. Like, my sheep that I count before I go to sleep, you took them. I fucking saw you do it in my dream last night.
Like, not even something real, dude. That's funny.
Yeah, because to me, the whole thing would just be nonsense, because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, why not? Here, guess what you guys want?
You know, some
that reminds me of the...
Get up in my face, I'll just lick him on the face and see what it goes from there.
Yeah, react to that, fucker.
They're trying to make out with him. You know, fucking go with it. Hey, you wanted to fight? We're gonna make this real weird for you, buddy.
You'd be like Benji on the fucking Howard Stern show, dude.
Is that what he did? I never really watched the Howard Stern show.
Yeah, well, at one time he did it to fucking Andrew Dice Clay. Yeah. You know, and apparently Howard was like, dude, don't fuck with him, and Benji's a fucking idiot, dude. I know very little about the guy, but
Dice Clay clocked him.
It was really close, dude. Like, he fucking pushed him away pretty goddamn hard. I'm surprised he didn't fucking clock him.
Dice is pretty fucking buff. Like, all things aside, he's a pretty strong looking dude.
Yeah. Like, you know, obviously some of his fucking bullshit's an act, but yeah, he could probably fuck some shit up, dude.
On second thought, maybe licking somebody on the face would not be a good thing if they were already angry. Now that you say it, it sounds like an incredibly bad idea. You could just propose to him.
Oh, man, I love you too. Yeah. Although it does remind me of what you said, kind of reminded me of the Louis C.K. bit about how, like, if he was in, like, traffic and the fucking guy behind him was, like, honking the horn, he'd be, like, fucking yelling back at him, well, give me back my jacket. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, you borrowed that jacket. I didn't say you could have it. Give me back my jacket.
See, that's the kind of stuff I could get behind. Like, that'd be fun.
And the other guy's just freaked out, like, holy shit, this guy's fucking crazy.
Yeah, just make it so weird that it's just not worth messing with.
Yeah. Like I said, nothing fucking unnerves me more than fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking big dude, way bigger than me, that doesn't really bother me, just an ass whooping, but you fucking confront me with crazy, and it will freak me the fuck out, dude.
It's like, I'm out. See ya. Good luck.
Yeah. Because with the big dude, at least I know what I'm dealing with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. With crazy, you never know, man. You don't know what they're fucking capable of.
You don't know when they'll stop.
Yeah.
That's why you don't.
Exactly.
Fight is you don't know when the other guy's going to consider the fight over.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it might not be until they fucking munched on your fucking face for a while, dude.
Yeah, like I consider the fight to be done when I'm not being threatened anymore. Like, there's no more threat to my safety.
Right.
So the guy, you know, he's down and he can't hit me, or he walks away because he doesn't want to fucking fight anymore or whatever. We're done. That's finished. It's over. The fight's done. But there's a lot of people out there who, man, that's not the end of the fight.
Yeah.
The end of the fight is when you're like curb stomping somebody. You know what I mean? That's like
right.
Run into that guy. That's why you don't want to fight like random people on the street. I see all these people that try to start fights. I'm like, good luck, buddy. You're on your own.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna say anybody who's trying to start a fight to begin with is probably somebody you don't want to fuck with because they're probably crazy.
Oh, I mean just like people who I know who like.
Oh, gotcha.
Get up in someone's face for stupid shit. It's just like, all right, well, good luck.
Okay.
Like, I bet you thought I'd help you out, but you were dumb enough to start this shit, so you better be able to handle it.
Right.
Good luck.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. I keep bringing up comedian shit. But Patrice O'Neal used to talk about like when his old lady would do that shit and expect him to back her up. As soon as she started running her mouth, he would fucking walk off, dude. He would start walking away from it, dude.
I was in like almost a bar fight with these two chicks and this other guy I knew. So I was really sick, and I agreed to drive these people out to a bar and hang out with them just because I was like, they're my friends and I wanted to hang out. And I hadn't seen them in a while, but I was like, all right, I'll drive out. And I'm like, I'm sick, so I'm not going to drink, so I'll be the designated driver tonight. No, I'm not going to get wasted and try to deal with that while I'm sick. And so while we were there, it was like a live music event, and the place was packed. There was no seating, so we were all just like standing around because it was standing room only at that point. And these chicks were like, they weren't really friends of mine. The guy was a friend of mine, but the chicks were like sort of like casual acquaintances, I would say at best, that he knew than I did. And this kid gets up to go to the bathroom, so they just go over and steal his stool to use as a table. And it's like, you don't do that at a bar. Like, the guy left his drink there. He's coming back to that seat. It's still his chair.
Right.
And so this dude was sloshed, just fucking wasted. And he was like, hey, you know what? That's not cool. You can't do that. And they're like, fuck off. And started to ignore him and blow him up. And he put hands on, he grabbed one of the girl's arm because she was trying to ignore him. And I like, let me be clear. I don't think he should have done that, but I think it was more. It was more like a dad to a recalcitrant brother. Like, he wasn't getting violent.
Right.
More like a dad with a teenage daughter who thinks she's just gonna like flounce off and fucking ignore what he's saying. And he was like, no, we're not done with the conversation. Come back here, kind of thing.
Right.
And, I was sick, so I didn't really react very fast. And I also was sort of the opinion like, well, you guys started it. Good luck.
Right. You were the aggressors here.
Yeah, you're gonna get talking to and fucking run back with your tail between your legs, as it should be, because I believe in equality.
Yeah,
but a bunch of other dudes, just like one other guy, just fucking jumped the guy and pinned him up against the fucking wall and had this like arm on his throat, fucking crazy over the top asshole. And then the guy
show off for the girls.
Yeesh. It was ridiculous. And then the guy got kicked out, and I was just like, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that is pretty ridiculous.
I left shortly after that. I was just like, yeah, I gotta go. Okay, I don't want to hang out with you. Good luck on your ride home.
Although, dude, I had a friend of mine that would, he had a problem with this group of people that, they happened to be black. It wasn't because they were black, but basically, like, we were in a bar, and one of those people was there, and he was kind of fucking with him because he just always did, because they just didn't get along or whatever. And, I have my friends back to a certain point, but when you're starting to scream in the bar about fucking niggers out loud, like, dude, you're on your own, dude. I'm like, we're out. Like, I know you're not racist, but nobody else here is going to know that you're not actually racist and that you're just trying to piss this dude off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You cross that drunken line.
Dude, you're on your own.
My friendship, sir. Good luck.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, man, we're out. Literally, like, me and my other friend were like, dude, let's go. We got it. Dude, he's fucking gone. We cannot back him up at this point, dude.
So you guys just both took off. You're like,
we're like, all right, man, we're out. And he finally kind of realized, he was really fucking drunk, obviously. But it finally at least kind of sunk in, like, oh, shit, maybe I said that a little too loud.
Yeah. You think?
Or maybe I shouldn't be saying that at all in a fucking bar.
Oh, that is a little hilarious.
Nah.
It's too bad he didn't get a whipping. He probably would have learned something from that.
And he's actually a really good dude, believe it or not. He's not fucking racist.
Oh, you're right. And you can't really teach a drunk anything. They don't learn anything from their drunken experiences.
Yeah, he was probably blacked out at that point anyway.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It just becomes a funny story
thing
later. Like, I did this dumbass thing when I was drunk, and then I got fucking beat up.
Yeah, he was a little weird. like I said, actually a really good friend. But yeah, every once in a while he would get too fucking drunk and too fucking crazy. Although that was true of pretty much all of us, just in different ways.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Everybody
I would never get too drunk and start screaming racial epithets, but I was crazy in other ways, you know.
Yeah, there's nobody who like doesn't have a line at which they just start crossing some sort of boundary when they're wasted.
Yeah,
you know,
the blackout.
Whether it be like getting handsy with like the ladies or getting racist, or just
I've definitely done that
all the time. Or they just start puking everywhere or something, you know.
Right.
Taking their clothes off is another one.
Yeah. Chicks, dude. Chicks do that a lot, dude. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
There's a lot of guys I've known too that just like.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen a dude do that.
Really drunk and they just start taking clothes off, and you're like, you know, we're still in the middle of the street. Maybe you want to wait till we're at your house.
Right. Jesus
you can go snake in your house once I've dropped you off, and I don't have to be involved anymore.
Right. Yeah, I can feel that I'm no longer responsible for you at that point.
Yeah. You were fully clothed and you were in your home when I left.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about anything after that. Is not my fault.
If you end up getting arrested in your yard for fucking being bare ass naked after that, that's on you.
Exactly. Well, I knew one guy that like there were a lot of people that knew him that he didn't know. He liked to party, and a lot of them would be like, "Well, when did you meet me? Was I wearing my clothes?" So,
God damn, dude.
And they'd be like, "No." He's like, "Oh yeah, I was really drunk, but I'm glad we met again."
Wow, that's fucking insane.
But yeah, that was his thing. Get drunk, take all the clothes off, and like, all right, I'm drop you off at your house. Chill out.
Right. I want no part of this, buddy.
Well, and it wasn't sexual at all. That's the funny part.
Right.
Freedom thing, I guess. I don't know.
Or just a drunken, crazy thing. Maybe there's no more meaning behind it than that.
Yeah, you're probably right. Probably just literally just drunk.
Shit.
I would get too honest if I was drunk. Like I'm not somebody who should have a cell phone and be drunk.
All right. I can imagine, dude.
What I really think.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm trying to think of what my worst trait was when I was drinking. Probably the honesty thing. I don't really when I was way younger, it was definitely being way too emotional.
Oh yeah.
You know, that fucking went away pretty quick, I guess.
That's probably for a lot of people though when they're younger.
Yeah. When you first start drinking, it's like fucking you're so used to kind of, I guess, repressing your emotions to a certain degree. And then fucking you get drunk and you're just like fucking crying and fucking, you know, whatever emotions are going on.
It probably runs the gamut depending on the day, you know?
Right. No, I remember being incredibly angry over shit that was really not a big deal.
Yep.
When I was younger. Like, what the fuck did you mean by that? I'm like, God, dude, calm down. He didn't... Whatever you think he means, that's not what he meant.
Or whatever you think he means, it's not that big a deal.
Right. Yeah. The good old days.
It's like, yeah, he called you an asshole, but whatever, man. Who cares?
Yeah. Crazy youth days.
Yay.
Is anybody still watching us? Dude, we haven't had any comment.
Winding down.
We haven't had any comments in 50 minutes, dude.
Yeah, well, we're on probably 2.5 hours or so. So.
Oh yeah.
I think we're good here. I think.
Yeah. Calling it.
All right, Chatterbox 23. Woo. Dates Rock on Skills Mixed Diving Pants signing off.
Bye-bye.